Hi guys, this is Erica Weston with Fox Sports Midwest, and you're listening to my favorite St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio.
Let's Go Blues Radio is powered by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code LGB. Make your balls a priority this fall. Well, that was a hassle. Welcome to Season 9, Episode 12 of Let's Go Blues Radio. We're the often imitated but never duplicated. The original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code LGB. Make your balls a priority this fall. We're broadcasting live on Wednesday, December 2nd, 2020. This is franchise episode number 278 all time. Your hosts tonight are yours truly, Curt Price, Bill Day, and Jeff Ponder. And for your listening pleasure for the next little while, we'll be talking St. Louis Blues hockey. To interact with the show on social media, you can follow the show on Twitter at LGB Radio. My handle is at Curt Price. Bill's is at Billy Blue Note, and Jeff's is at JPonder94. You can follow us on Instagram. We're dual streaming right now live on YouTube and Facebook finally. And for those watching the live stream right now on either platform, thank you for joining us, and feel free to comment in the live chats and we'll address what we can during the show. If you're listening to the podcast version of the show later on, thank you for joining us as well. And of course, the website is letsgoblues.com, where you can listen to or watch past episodes of the show, browse the fan discussion forum, as well as get some cool St. Louis Blues themed t-shirts and the stickers that help support the show. Sorry, we had a delay there. It's been an issue we've had for the past few weeks with our YouTube channel and the integration with our streaming service here, our portal to YouTube. So wasn't working. So we had to restart it a few times. But I think it's working now.
And you guys look fantastic. So I think it's definitely working.
Hey, yeah, and you look like Father Jeff Misty. If you get the reference. Father John Misty's musical artist. He's really good. But yeah, you're blurry, Jeff.
Good night, everybody. Curt, you're sending me stuff right now.
Yeah, I am.
Yes, I will gladly do that.
Yeah, thank you. Just if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because we sent out the old link earlier and had to create a new one, I think. So anyone watching the show on the old link is going to be looking at a 12-second black screen that went nowhere. We have some t-shirts in the shop, so check those out. letsgoblues.com/shop. In this episode, we will each be drafting. Oh yeah, there's the one of the shirts, one of the new ones. It's a sweet ass shirt. I ordered one too. Mine has not come in yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I got mine the other day. Federico Sutter 24. That's an excellent design, sir.
Thank you. You like the 11 in the Sutter there?
I do. It's very cool. Again, I think this is one of your best designs, and not to stroke your ego.
Damn it.
You've had some good designs in the past. I when I saw this one, I instantly was like, yeah, I'm buying that. That's beautiful.
It's for those in the podcast that can't see it, it's a political parody shirt, Federico Sutter 2024. 24 referencing Federico, so it's applicable. So yeah, in this episode, Bill and Jeff and I are going to be drafting each going to be drafting our own greatest all-time Blues team. Fantasy draft style, where you draft a player and he's off the board, not available to the other guys. So we're going to randomize the draft order and get after it here in a little bit. We got some rules here that we'll go over before we start drafting, but it should be a lot of fun. And that will take up the 95% of the show. The official beers of episode number 278. Bill?
Well, it's Bourbon County week, so I would be remiss if I didn't pull out a Bourbon County for the show. I am going with the Bourbon County Cafe de Olla. It's one of the variants from 2019.
That must be Italian.
No, no, it would be uh, Spanish or of Latin descent. I'm not going to say Latinx because that's it's. I don't know how I feel about that term, and that applies to people, not to beverages anyway. So I digress. It is a coffee based Bourbon County from the fine folks at Intelligentsia in Chicago. They contributed the coffee for this. Every time I'm in Chicago for work, I make sure to hit up the Intelligentsia in the Loop and get some espresso. It's a great place. But yeah, it's coffee aromas layered with notes of cinnamon and orange is how this is described, and it's an apt description. It's very good and very boozy because it's Bourbon County.
Mr. Ponder. Sorry. I introduced you and then I just talked right over you. So
go right ahead. Curt.
No.
Whatever you have to say is very important.
No, I was just going to comment on Bill's bottle. I was going to say I like the Bourbon County bottle. I do. No, it was a dumb comment.
Yeah, I actually got some Bourbon County myself, but I am not drinking it tonight because, as I told you guys off air, even though I am cleared from COVID about 2.5 weeks ago, I've still not gotten all of my taste back. I've received some of it back, which is nice. Thank you, COVID, for supplying me with some of my taste buds back. But yeah, there's, like I was telling you guys, Thanksgiving food. About half of it I couldn't taste, and I was furious because that is my favorite holiday because of the food. So it was a very sour moment for me. But I'm healthy. I'm safe. Not in a hospital, so I'm happy with how things are going. My beer, which is about half gone right now, I am drinking one of my favorites, brewed in Shiner, Texas, Shiner Holiday Cheer, which is a lovely type of beer for this season right now. For those who don't know, I spent a little time in Texas in my life, about 10 months. Had a job down there, and I loved every minute of it. Just missed being in St. Louis because, fuck the stars. But I have a little bit of an affinity for Shiner beer, and they make a real good holiday cheer beer. So they sell it at most locations here in St. Louis. If you've never had it, you like the holiday Christmas ale, definitely give them a try.
Mine is the Berry Brunch Stout, sorry, from Schlafly Brewery in St. Louis. It came in the variety pack, the variety stout pack, along with the Mexican chocolate stout and a couple others. So, and I bought it for the Mexican chocolate stout, which I really do like a lot. It might be my favorite beer from Schlafly. So, anyway, it's quite good. The berry brunch, you can. I mean, the berryness comes through, so it's pretty good. So I do enjoy it.
It's part of the Stout Bout box, right?
The Stout Bout, right? That's what it's called. Correct.
Yeah. I went to. They actually used to do an event. I don't know if they do it anymore, but we went to the inaugural Stout Bout, and they actually had it at McGurk's way back in the late 90s. Still have a t-shirt and a piner from it, but yeah, that was a fun time. And Schlafly, yeah, every year that I've gotten the Stout Bout box, it's been full of goodness. There are only a handful that I can say that I didn't really like, but that's typically the stuff I don't like. I don't like raspberry stuff, and I think a couple years ago they had one that was that a raspberry chocolate stout. Not a fan, but otherwise great stuff.
You think if you do the raspberry chocolate stout correctly, it would taste delicious?
You'd think.
You would think.
Maybe it's just me. It's just me.
I'll add real quick. I never finished my thought. The reason that I brought up the not being able to taste and why I'm not drinking my Bourbon County is because I'm afraid to open up a very expensive and nice beer and not being able to taste it. So that is the reason I brought that up and why I'm not drinking Bourbon County tonight.
What's the? I have not looked it up. I don't know. What is the average time frame for someone to get their taste back?
Some people it's like 2 days. Some people it's like 2 weeks. Sometimes, man, I've heard some people. I heard somebody say, actually, the guy who gave me my last COVID test said that he got it back in March, and then again, I think he said in June. Unfortunately, that's just how the healthcare profession is going right now. And he said that he still does not have his taste back from the first time. And so
Yikes.
Some people, it's taken a long time. Like I still can't smell anything at all. But taste, it's kind of, I'd say about half back. But yeah, there's definitely some of my favorite flavors I still can't taste. And
that's got to be
very
weird.
upsetting.
That's got to be weird because some foods and drinks, they have multiple flavors going into them. So if you can't taste a certain element of a flavor, that probably dramatically changes how something tastes.
Yes. Yep.
That's crazy.
It definitely does. I had I was telling you guys earlier that I was like, okay, I'm going to go try some Taco Bell just because I haven't had it in a while. And, I should be able to taste that. Pretty much only could taste the pico de gallo on the quesadilla. That was it. It was very strange.
Was the pico de wifo okay with that?
Anyway. Don't know about that.
Is that too highbrow humor for you, Jeff?
I think it's too lowbrow, son. I'm wearing a vest, a suit jacket here, my friend. I'm pretty highbrow tonight. With
a t-shirt that I made. So you're kind of you're skirting both ends of the you're really both ends of the spectrum there.
Curt, right? The reason that I'm wearing a shirt that you made is because you're all class.
Right. Well, if you take off the CL, then you're closer to it.
A couple comments here. We'll go ahead and read real quick. Winning Unlimited, who's stuck through our issues early in the show. He says Kurt's going to pick Adam Oates first just for the number 12, and that's just to spite you, Adam Gold. And he says, I need the shirt for number 24. For those who don't know, Mr. Gold wears number 24s, and I believe, and I hate to give away too much information, but I believe even his license plate is 24K. So he is he's all about using his last name as a pun in hockey and in life. So good for you, Winning Unlimited.
Landon Fitzgerald in the YouTube chat, Bill.
I know, it's amazing. We were both responding to him at the same time.
It's like at first I was like, that's funny. I'm like, you know what? We can do that. I mean, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope.
Envelope. You want to put it in an envelope?
It won't taste very good. It'd be a wet envelope.
Yeah, Curt might try that though. Now,
Landon,
if you want to, I was gonna say if you want a tastemaker follow on Untapped, it's Landon. That guy has like 5-6 beers a day, and they're all amazing.
In his Facebook, he's always going to the beer fests and the tastings and things, and so it's rough trying to keep up with Mr. Fitzgerald, who resides over on the East Coast, one of the Carolinas, dodging hurricanes every year.
Down Raleigh way.
Yeah. So good to see you, Landon. Let's see. Today in Blues History, we don't have any for today because Mr. STL Blues History didn't post any for today that I saw. So which is fine, but so it works out because last week we had to postpone last week's show, so to this week, and so we had some for last week. So I'll use this one from last week because it's pertinent and topical. So we all have been talking a lot about jerseys and the controversy, and quite frankly, lots of misinformation going around about the reverse retro clown jerseys on social media. The Blues will be wearing a few times this coming season. So, and our comments then responding to people who love the clowns and didn't live through these things the first time around. And I felt that this Today in Blues History was a necessary reminder for some. But so November 27th was last week, 1997. The St. Louis Blues introduced their new jersey, which would eventually replace the clown jersey. Jim Woodcock, with input from the players and the small group of fans, was behind the new jersey design. So it's interesting because a lot of talk has been said lately about who has input on these new designs, who had final say, or who designed, or who had input on the new clowns, on the winter classics. We talked about people online. Some people are saying the Blues have no say; it's all Adidas, which I think is absurd. The Blues have a say. They have input. They have, they're going to be wearing them. They have a say. But this, and it may have changed a little bit since this era in '98, I guess it was. But the new jerseys then were designed by Blues fan Buck Smith of Fleischman Hillard, which is a design firm in St. Louis.
Which is funny because I'm pretty confident that's where Jim Woodcock went after he left the Blues. I could be wrong on that, but I'm fairly confident.
Yeah, and this is an article that we're looking at that was from the Post-Dispatch, and when the new jerseys were announced. And remember at the time how great these jerseys were? Oh, coming off those clown jerseys, these things were the best jerseys I had ever seen, because we came from such a low, and we got these, and that's not to knock these. These are great. They're great jerseys. But especially when you compare them, we just come off those atrocities, the eyesores. These were fantastic.
I remember an image of Brett Hull laying down at center ice. Do you guys remember that? He was spread all across center ice wearing the new jersey, and he had the biggest smile on his face. And for those that know, he was a guy who was very against the clown jerseys. And so I'm sure that when he took that picture, there probably was a little, I look better in this thing. I like this thing a lot better.
Well, here's a little flashback for those who lived through this. Okay, the first run of the clown jerseys. A lot of people nowadays they didn't. That was 25 years ago when they were first introduced. So a lot of fans nowadays if they don't remember that.
I was 18 months old.
So you don't remember that. And like you said, Hull was outspoken with this. You weren't 18 months old.
Took you long enough.
I'm trying to do a bunch of things at once here. I can't decipher your comedy jokes. So Hull stepped in front, and I'm reading this out of the article. Hull stepped in front of a full-length mirror near his locker. He's wearing the jersey. And he goes, or I guess he's wearing it. He goes, "This is unbelievably good looking," Hull said, referring to the uniform, not himself. "These are classy, I feel, and look like a hockey player, a St. Louis Blues hockey player. They're back to where they should be, the St. Louis Blues and not the St. Louis Reds." It's so funny because this is the comments that you hear today. He said, adding that the current uniforms never should have been there, talking about the original run of the Clowns. He also said, "I understand that," this is Jim Woodcock, said, "I understand the temptation to redefine the look of the team, but I think we took it over the top. We shouldn't have done that, judging by the input we got from our fans. I'm not alone in that assessment." Again, referring to the clown jerseys. So again, the players hated it. Management hated it, for the most part, in hindsight. Fans hated it. And he also said, and this is key, because a lot of people were talking about where the red came from, right? And Jeff, you kind of ranted a little bit about this last time. People were saying that the red it's from the St. Louis flag, right? They're taking elements of the St. Louis flag, putting it in the jersey, and that's the reference. That's where the red comes from. Well, and obviously the red in the new clown is the same as the red in the old clown, red. So the original red in the original clowns, according to Woodcock, said the red as the primary road jersey color came from the success of the Florida Panthers road uniforms. The current design was ridiculed from the start, particularly the garish road uniforms. So the red in the original clown jerseys.
Keep in mind the when he says the road uniforms, that was the blue and red ones.
Right. That was because at the time the whites were the home. So there's a lot of talk about
when they were doing it right.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of talk about the red being pulled from the St. Louis flag. Not the case, because the reason why the red was in the original clowns was because of the for some reason, the success of the road Florida Panthers jersey, which was red. So the Blues liked that. Oh, we'll add a lot of red in our jersey. So they did. And now the new Clowns, the reason why there's a shit ton of red in the new Clowns is because it had it in the old Clowns, and that came from the Florida Panthers jersey. So it's not from the St. Louis flag. So he goes on to say the road uniform is, well, awful. I can't think of a better word to describe it. And he also said, I think all of us were disappointed in the introduction of red. The NHL suggested another shade of blue. Therefore, our color palette is the Blues. So even then, the color palette of the team is the Blues.
But the blue is from the style of music, Curt. It has nothing to do with the color.
Doesn't matter. The Blues are blue. It doesn't matter if they're based on it doesn't matter if the name is based on the style of music. That's true. But both things can be true. The name of the team is based on the style of music. Also, the team should be blue.
Right.
No.
The Blue Note Jazz label, they don't have a black label. They have a fucking blue label because it's in the name. Go with it. Jesus. It's not that difficult.
It's not.
As Curt likes to say, it's not rocket surgery.
It's not rocket surgery. It's not. Absolutely not. So
yeah, I mean, not a whole lot more needs to be said. Curt just covered every base there. I'd say Curt, but it was the Post-Dispatch. I mean, this is what the players and the management were saying. So yes, hideous jerseys. Again, if you're going to go back retro, let's see those early 90s. I will die on that hill. I think that is a beautiful jersey. And even if you wanted to incorporate more red into that jersey and do a reverse retro, I'm okay with that. But get rid of the clown, the slanted lines, just nothing good about that jersey.
I would. My last thought on this is that I would sooner wear a Doug Crossman number 6 early 90s jersey than a Wayne Gretzky clown jersey.
That's just you.
I'll take a Charlie Huddy jersey.
You know what? I had the opportunity.
Clown jersey there,
now he was clown jersey.
I've had the opportunity twice now.
Stefan Quintal.
Oh,
there you go.
I've had the opportunity twice now to buy a clown jersey. The first go around, I had no desire to. My brother bought a white one, the home jersey at the time, and the white one was passable. The white one was a much better design than the road one because there was not any red in it. It was the white was on top and the blue was on bottom, and there was like pinstriping of red. That's all the red was in it. So it was a much better design. Even though I didn't like the design as a whole, it was so much better than the roads.
I think it's too early to call, but Landon Fitzgerald, I feel like CNN saying that. Too early to call. Landon has a great comment. Gretzky would have stayed if it weren't for the clown jerseys. I almost want to call that comment of the show, but I feel like we've probably got some zingers coming up. So I'm gonna let that be for now, but it is definitely in the running.
Yeah. We'll say that comment is, like Trump around 6:00. Has the lead for now.
It's in the lead. It's in the lead for now.
You
know what?
Maybe
Jimmy will have a great zinger later, and Landon can then come back and fight us and say that his comment is better, and then he can go to court. Okay, we'll stop there. That's gonna.
It's
keep going.
It's easy to be in the lead when you count all the votes that were cast for you first. You're gonna be winning then.
I saw Landon's comment first, so right now, yes, that is the best candidate to win.
Yeah.
Let's see once all the people start mailing in their comments. Let's see what they have to say.
Hold on. So last show when we did the reverse retro jersey reviews, right? Early on you gave a perfect 100 score to the was it the Kings?
Kings.
Yeah. That was early on. So, and that goes against everything that anybody knows about figure skating judging.
No.
So
no.
You don't get a perfect score early ever. You never, because you got to leave room for improvement.
Much different.
Yeah.
Much different.
No. Well,
you
knew
it's much different.
Because you knew it was coming.
Exactly. I know what we were going to review. It wasn't like you were like, hey, I just got contacted by the Colorado Avalanche. They've got another jersey coming out. You guys haven't seen it yet. I knew exactly what was coming. So that's a little different.
I was going for the suspense aspect.
Stand down.
And
Stand down.
To me, it was figure skating, Olympic figure skating rules in my mind. That's what I went by.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Not mine.
All right. So let's. Why don't we get to our all-time St. Louis Blues rosters draft?
Before
that,
we do that,
one more thing.
I told you guys that I wanted to have team names, but we didn't want to get too crazy creative. We could probably do this later, but I want to go ahead and say this now. I have a perfect team name if we were doing team names. So a team that I drafted, my team name would be, and let's see if you guys get the reference, the Drax Technologies Slashers.
The Drax Technologies, Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Nope.
Drax Technologies.
Drax Technologies Slashers. That is my team name.
I'm
that's
just
lost on me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I almost want to not tell you what it means because I want to see if anybody in the chat gets it. So tell you what, when I make my first pick, I will announce what that means. Just see if anybody gets it. It is a very obscure reference, but it is a good reference. Yeah. Trust me.
Give everybody a chance to chew on it.
All right. I didn't name my team. Bill, did you name your team?
The Gateway Chubby Turkeys.
Okay, Chubby Turkeys. Okay. Yeah.
Great one, Bill.
My team is going Team No Name. So
that is by the way, Bill is harking back. He's harking back to Vladimir Chebaturkin, one of the greatest 55s to ever play the game.
Okay, all right.
Yes. But by our rules is ineligible for this draft.
That's true. Right. So you can see on the screen there we got the rosters. They're blank right now. So mine, Bill's, and Jeff's. So we'll fill them out. We got 12 forwards, 6 defensemen, 2 goalies at least. Okay, and then you're going to have 3 reserves. So we're doing 23, a full man roster. Okay, and the requirements are as follows. Minimum games played for skaters, which is forwards and defensemen, 48. So you got to play 48 games as a Blue, and these are again player ratings are determined for us in this draft on their play only while they were a St. Louis Blues player. So it doesn't matter what they did before or after their time here. This is just their time on the ice here with the Blues, how they performed.
Yeah. So with that cut line of 48. Players you will not see drafted tonight include the great one, Peter Nedved, Stefan Richer.
Wow.
Do you remember he was a Blue?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 2000.
And Peter Stastny. You can't draft Peter Stastny.
No.
Nor could you draft Kevin Dahlman or Tage Thompson.
Or
would you, though, anyway?
Donato. Ted Donato cannot be drafted.
True. Nor could you draft Alain Vigneault.
Or Martin Havlat.
Anyway, the minimum requirements for games played for goalies, 24. So the 48 game for skaters is we just went back to, okay, so if someone played a full season for St. Louis, if we wanted to, they should be eligible to be drafted. And a full season for the last lockout was 48 games. So that seemed fair. And then the minimum play games for goalies, won half of that with 24. So it's games played, not games started in a season. So, or in a career here. So there you go.
Yeah. So real quick, goalies you won't see. I did it for the forwards. Got to do it for the goalies. Ben Bishop. Only played 13 games as a Blue. Chad Johnson.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Chad Johnson.
Hannu Toivonen just misses the cut.
I would draft him for the mask alone, right?
Right.
Real quick. One of my favorite comments of all time, and I want to say it was Carl Racky, I think was his name, on the letsgoblues.com forums. One of my favorite comments ever was after Hannu Toivonen just had a Hannu Toivonen game. And he said, Hannu Toivonen is a bag of crap. That was all his comment said. And for some reason, that just made me lose my mind, and I remember that to this day. So thank you, Carl Racky.
All right, so we got the we're going to randomize.
Oh wait, but Bill forgot about Tom Barrasso.
Yeah,
right.
Again,
Jim Carrey.
No,
yeah. Again, you're not going to see these, but you may not have anyway.
And I mean, we're joking anyway, but let's just be honest. The two big names you're not going to see, Wayne Gretzky and Martin Brodeur. They are not eligible for this.
Right. And for a couple reasons, really. I mean, well, Gretzky, you could argue, obviously, he was very productive as a Blue. But I mean, even if we had the minimum games requirement removed, would you put Brodeur on the team based on how he played here? Probably not.
No.
So I mean, he didn't play. I mean, he had a couple of good games, but that was about it.
He had a shutout. So,
yeah, one of his couple of good games.
I think it was like 13 saves in that game.
It was pretty low, wasn't it? Okay, so
and he did have one of the greatest on ice mic moments from a ref when the Blues played the Islanders and Kelly Sutherland. Somebody ran him, and then the Blues retaliated, and Kelly Sutherland said, "You just paid the Marty tax." I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yes, I do.
Brilliant.
I do remember that. Okay. So we're gonna randomize the order here, and so I got a randomizer up. It's on the screen, so there's no cheating by me, which I'm apt to do. So
right, I'm sorry, we just got our comment of the show.
You say this this the first half hour of every show.
No, this is it. I don't think it's going to be beat. Winning Unlimited. If you know him, don't you dare use a lottery. Don't you dare use a lottery. That is, I love it. Thank you, Winning Unlimited.
Look up the Gold Plan. It's on YouTube, I think, right? The Gold Plan.
Yeah, Gold Plan.
Yeah,
sure.
His presentation. Good stuff.
Oh, but Puck Guy 14. How did Edmonton win a Blues lottery? Oh, there's some good comments coming, folks.
All right. Again, we're going to randomize the draft order. So I got it up here. Our names are 1, 2, 3. This is going to randomize it. I'm going to randomize it, 6 times? Does that sound good?
Just do it the one time.
One time? I'll click it 6 times. 6 times. That's how they do it when you do these.
All right, fine. Just do it.
All right. 6 times, not 12.
No, 6, right. I was going to do 12, but that doesn't seem fair. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the order is Jeff, Curt, Bill, and it's a snake draft. So Bill then gets 2 picks back to back. So
I feel like, and then I get 2 picks back to back the next round. So I feel like, yes. Curt, you have the easiest job here, which actually is perfect because you're the one that's putting down who's.
No.
You're the one that's keeping track.
No. You guys have access to the spreadsheet. You enter your own. So when you pick them, just type it in.
Where's this at?
Wait, where? Yeah, where?
I shared it.
We should have covered this before the show.
There it is. I shared it. And who thinks that we are actually prepared for this?
Wow.
All right, I'm in there. I got it. I'm good to go.
All right.
So it's Jeff, Curt, Bill. So let me rename these so we can go in order here.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm going to be... by the way, nobody has guessed. I'm going to go ahead and say it now then. Nobody has guessed while Curt's doing this. What my team name comes from. The Drax Technologies Slashers.
I can't imagine nobody guessing. I can't imagine.
Anybody. Come on, Curt. I thought of anyone, you would get it.
Technology Slashers?
I'm going to give you a hint. What do you got?
No, I don't have anything. I was just going to say it's.
Right,
it's a reference to a Blues player or something, but I don't.
I'm going to give you a hint that is definitely going to give it away.
So you say this, and it's probably not. Okay, Hull. Drax.
It's in the comic book.
It's in the comic book? I've got it on my wall.
That's the name of the team they play in 2094.
The Drax Technologies. That's the name of the team? Are you serious?
That's the name of the team. The Drax Technologies Slashers.
Oh, is it on the cover of the magazine?
No, it's not.
Well,
no.
I haven't read it. It's still sealed. I haven't
Well,
read it.
mine's not, and I had to look it up tonight because when I was thinking of a good team name to use, I was like, "Oh, I got it."
That's a good one. Mine are all sealed. The three of them, and they're all framed on the wall, so I have no options here to read it.
Yeah, that is where my team name comes from. That is the robot team from 2094 that they have to face for the Stanley Cup.
Landon Fitzgerald in the YouTube chat says, "What do you guys think of the Kraken retro jerseys?" They have a retro jersey.
I think he's being funny.
Oh, oh, I get it. That's funny. All right, whatever. All right.
So are we ready for my first pick?
I assume you know who you're picking.
Yes,
I assume we all
I
know
do.
who he's picking.
Yes, you do.
I mean, I don't know. This is gonna be interesting. Because we've talked about who Jeff thinks is arguably the greatest player in Blues history. So we'll see. We'll see.
Rudy Poshek. No, I'm kidding.
Verbal bets are
You're on the
binding.
clock.
Put it down.
Yeah. Wait, let me check. Is he eligible? Is Rudy Poshek eligible?
I've got my
Poeschek. Rudy Poshek played 78 games. He's eligible. You've drafted
Put it
Rudy
down.
Poshek.
Hey, Curt, just so
Yes.
you know, it says that I am blocked from editing the document. So I don't know if you need to go into features there and fix
That's
that.
not right.
Yep. Yeah, because I was actually going to write in as a joke, Rudy Poshek, but it wouldn't let me.
Share,
So
Jeff, you're no. Look at
just
this.
go ahead and share my email,
Look at this.
dickhead.
It's editor right
Really?
there. Editor.
Okay, let's see.
Now, are you trying to edit a block you can't be editing? Because I have some of them uneditable to keep it simple
Why?
for you guys. Because just the gray ones, not the white ones.
But-
what are you doing?
But why would we not want to select? Okay, you know what? Never mind. It's time
so you
to
put
pick
the players in the right spots.
Just let me pick the player. Shut up.
I'm trying
right.
to let you pick the player. Oh my God, we haven't even picked up one player yet.
The first overall pick in the Let's Go Blues Radio fantasy draft. First of all, I want to thank St. Louis for their
Jesus
hospitality. The first pick, and I'll admit, the only reason I'm making this pick is because I know he's not coming around to my next pick. So, Chris Pronger, come on down. Chris Pronger played for the Blues from 1996 to 2004. 598 games played, just shy of 600. 84 goals, 272 points, 356 points. Sorry, 272 assists, 356 points, 140 plus minus. And let's not forget the amazing seasons he had. It was an All-Star, I believe, 4 times. Selected the All-Star team. Hart Trophy, Norris Trophy in 99-2000. Finished in the top 5 in Norris voting at least 2 or 3 times. And was just a dominant player on the ice. We've had this conversation on this show. Just who dominated the ice better. We've put it down to Chris Pronger and Brett Hall and Bernie Federko. And I will stand by Chris Pronger in his prime as a St. Louis Blue. No one dominated the ice like that guy did. He took over games. And whether it was his offense, his shot, or his defense, mugging guys in front of the net, he did everything right. And again, my favorite all-time player. So it was a pretty easy decision for me. Again, I knew he would not last in the second round. One of you guys were going to take him. So I wanted to take him now. Chris Pronger is your first overall pick.
And every pick will not be that wordy.
I figure our first
right.
picks are going to be pretty wordy.
If people are expecting mine to be that, it's not going to be. I
just figure your guys' first picks will be kind of wordy.
Are you going to type it in or what?
Yeah, I'm trying to, but I can't edit the block.
Why are you in the right? Put it in the underneath the defensive column. First pair defense under the D. What are you doing? Yes.
It won't let me.
Really?
You are trying to edit a protected cell or object.
Oh.
Please contact the spreadsheet owner to remove protection if you need to edit.
All right, I'll fix it. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know why that's like
Should
that.
have put Donger.
I'll just unprotect everything here to make it So you guys don't.
I think we get how a spreadsheet works. You can remove the protection.
Well, I was just trying. I had the option to, and I thought, hey.
You're talking to two guys who one guy. Well, I'm not going to say what we do, but we work with spreadsheets often. I'm guessing, Bill.
Yeah.
My research is entirely in Excel, so.
Real quick, while he's doing this, we got some jokes. Hotard12, who just tried calling me, says, I want in, and he called me Hadley, which is just a hilarious joke. He's literally calling me saying he wants to join, but sorry, Greg, maybe we can hold one with just the guys we play hockey with. Landon Fitzgerald, are we voting on the best drafted team? Does the loser of the draft get manscaped by the other two? Now that's a genius idea.
That's a funny story because Federico told us about a story where there was some manscaping going on to him.
Yes.
He got shaved his first season in the NHL. So that was interesting.
We should hold a vote. Maybe hold it up until our next show and put it on Twitter. Have people vote who's the best team. Anyway, Curt, go ahead.
I am going to take Mr. The Golden Jet. I'm taking Brett Hall, right winger. Goes without saying.
Golden Brett, not the Golden Jet.
Golden Brett. Sorry. Oh God, I would never do that. I would never.
Bobby Hall is ineligible.
Nazi sympathizer. No, Golden Brett. Sorry. Good Lord. Well, Jeff said Rudy Poshek and then didn't have to draft him, so I don't have to draft Bobby Hall. I mean, he's got. Leads in. One of the all-time greats in the NHL. 527 goals, 409 assists, 936 points. Just did it all here in St. Louis eventually. I mean, he got a bad rap for his defense early on, which was justified, but that got much better later on, especially in Dallas too, but that was after his time here.
Right. I was about to say, he got much better after he left here.
Well, he was better here. And you know what? And he was always a much better passer than people gave him credit for. Hull was. So.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Dead on passer.
Yeah. So,
when he had a chance to shoot, but he had a better chance to pass, so much better.
Yeah. And Bill's got already Chubba Turkin plugged in. Is that right? All right. That's pick number 2, Bill.
Okay, so maybe you shouldn't have given Jeff editing capability after all.
You see? That's why I did that. Oh, you know what? I changed the names to the top and it changed permissions. I had me only able to edit mine. That's what happened.
Okay.
That's what happened. And so, so that was your idea, Jeff. Thanks a lot.
All right.
I think it's a great idea. Bill, third pick.
It is a good idea.
All right. So for the third overall pick in this draft, the one, the only, Al MacInnis.
Solid.
And it won't let me edit this either. So
yes, it will.
MacInnis. No. There is a problem.
All right. I'm just trying to take permission off entirely. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead and explain your pick.
It says you put that in there.
I know. Well, I was trying to be thorough.
What else do you have to say? Hall of Famer, started his career in Calgary. Probably one of the greatest trades that doesn't get talked about for the Blues. But the Blues basically flipped Phil Housley for Al MacInnis. And Phil Housley was supposed to be the guy that came in and, replaced Scott Stevens. And we were able to quickly turn him around for Al MacInnis, and what a career MacInnis had as a Blue. Had he not suffered the eye injury, I think we would today be talking about, unquestionably the greatest Blues defenseman. Pronger, no offense to Pronger, I agree with you that he is the greatest Blues player at this point, but I think MacInnis, had he not suffered such a debilitating eye injury and lost so much time to it, I think he would have been heralded as, I don't think we talk so much about Nick Lidstrom because I think MacInnis would have won a couple more Norrises. But
I think I remember him having a quote when he was probably, he was like 37, 36 maybe. It was right before his eye injury. And I remember him saying, I feel like I could play until I'm 50. And I think we would have seen him play Lidstrom longevity had he not been injured.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, I was at the game that he suffered that injury. I was in a luxury suite, courtesy a friend of mine, to see that game against the Sharks. It was terrible. So
Scott Hannon.
So yeah, it was. And that was when I was just starting to gain that animosity against the Sharks, and that, well, I guess not at just when, because of that 99 thing, but it just made us hate the Sharks all that much more. But yeah, Al McInnes.
All right, Bill, you're up again.
And at number 4, I'm going Fedorko. Who else could I go with here? I mean, there's plenty, but Fedorko. He's the best player left on the board right now. My all-time favorite Blues forward. Probably my first favorite hockey player. And it's between him and another guy that I'm hoping to draft, but probably won't be there. But Bernie Fedorko, number 24. Adam Gold, Chris Schmieder, this one's for you.
I think it's important to note Bernie Fedorko, all-time points leader for the Blues, 1,073. He's the only Blues player in his Blues career to reach over 1,000 points. The first true Blue to be inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yep. Can you edit now, Bill? Can you edit yourself now, Bill?
And I'll add too, while Bill's trying. I'll add that Brett Hull, leading goal scorer for the St. Louis Blues, 527, which was Curt's pick. So also very important. Al McInnes was one of the points leaders for defensemen. He was the point leader for defensemen until he was passed last year by Pietrangelo. Correct?
I think so.
Actually, yes. No. I'm looking now. Pietrangelo finishes as a Blue 2 points behind.
Right. I remember it was just short. Yeah.
He would have passed him, I guarantee it, had they have played out the whole season.
Right. Okay, so I'm next. I think this is a gimme for me. I'm going to choose Oates. Adam Oates, center, so I can reunite Hull and Oates on my top line. That's the one of the most dynamic duos in NHL history, certainly in Blues history. Oates wasn't here that long, but he was. I've never seen a guy, two players have chemistry like that in St. Louis, and it'll rival just about any duo in NHL history. So easy pick for me. Also, my favorite player of all time. His overall numbers. Let's see. I got to scroll down a bit because he only played 286 games for the Blues, but he had 286 points, and he played in 195 games. So he's got, I didn't look it up, but I'm going to guess it might be the highest point per game average in the Blues history. If not, it's up there. So, yep, that's me. Adam Oates, center, pick number 2.
For some people, with my next pick, might seem like I'm going a little off the board here, but the guy was a natural, pure goal scorer, leading right winger in points before Brett Hull joined the team. I'm going to go with Wayne Babbage. He had a great career with the Blues, 396 games played, 345 points. Again, just a guy that could put the puck in the net. Again, seems probably a little high to take him here, but I feel like I need a good scoring winger with taking a defenseman first. Let's just kind of review some of the stats. 63 points in his rookie year, 96 2 years later, and was a 50-goal scorer that year. 54 goals, 42 assists, 96 points, made the All-Star Game selection, and even finished in the voting for the Selke Trophy, which is pretty impressive. So Wayne Babbage, not a long career in St. Louis. He played here for 6 years, but when he was here, I feel like he was super effective. So that is my next pick.
All right. And then your next pick.
And then my next pick, which I have not put a lot of thought into, so give me 1 second. My next pick, I am gonna go. I'm gonna go nuts here. This is nuts, guys. I'm gonna go with. All right, it's not so nuts. I'm gonna go with Pierre Turgeon. Pierre Turgeon was another guy who had a great career here in St. Louis. He's going to be my number one center. 327 games played for the Blues, 134 goals, 355 points. 355 points in 327 games. And again, he was a guy who I felt like was kind of overshadowed with some of those Blues teams. First, he started with Hall. Then he had Dimitra playing, which is a guy that I'm sure will be picked here pretty soon. And then you had other guys on that roster. Scott Young was a guy that played on his wing that was great. Everybody remembers from my era, my age, the Drake, Turgeon, Young line, which was one of the best lines the Blues have ever put together. Pierre Turgeon, a guy who I think is very underappreciated as an NHL player, let alone a Blues player. That is my next pick.
Whew. Okay. So I guess I am next. I'm going to go with, let's see, do I want to go defenseman or want to go, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to go winger. I'm going to go left winger. I'm going to fill out my top line. I'm going to go Shanahan.
Figures you
well, got that early 90s Blues top line.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
We know he's not going to draft Janney now.
Janney might be available for my third line center. I don't know. We'll see.
You legally cannot draft Janney, I believe.
Again, a couple of my players, Shanahan didn't spend a ton of time here, but his time that he did spend here was phenomenal. He's got, let me look it up, pull it up here. He had 2 50-goal seasons. And had, let's see, where is it? He had 156 goals in 4 years in St. Louis, 150 assists, 306 points. I mean, fantastic premier power forward. He came into his own here in St. Louis, topping 50 goals twice. So that is my pick, left winger, Brendan Shanahan. Bill.
Excellent pick. Excellent pick there.
Thank you.
So, very predictable, but my next pick is going to be the first goaler taken in this draft. Yes, I did say goaler. It's a phrase that is not used often enough.
I am very curious about this
day
pick.
And age.
I'm very curious about this pick.
I know who it is. You don't know who it is?
I think I would guess, but I'm like, I don't know.
I know who it is.
There's a few different guys it could be. Okay, go ahead.
It is Mike Liut.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that would have been my guess, but I was like, okay.
Yeah.
There's a few guys.
Yeah, Mike Liut, the reason why I became a goalie when I was a young kid, just the mask, the pads, the stand-up style. God, he was just the inspiration that got me to be the guy that, the kid that stood up and said, I'll put on the pads every game. When I was, just getting into hockey, it was all volunteer. Like, who wants to play this position? And every game I said, I want to be the goalie. And for the most part, I was allowed to do that. And yeah, I mean, he's from a statistical standpoint, he's just 347 games played. And for whatever reason, I don't know why Hockey Reference didn't put in the wins, but still, that's 347 games played. That's still the most of any eligible goalie in this list, and set many records for the team. Jeff, you can probably speak more to this, but yeah. This is definitely probably like my most emotional pick. I'll say that, but it's justified to pick him here.
Sure. I mean,
hey, it's your fantasy team.
It's hard.
That's the way
It's
I
hard
see
to go wrong with the all-time wins leader. So
Yeah, absolutely. So, moving on.
Your next pick.
To
So we are
my
now
next
entering the
pick.
third round.
Third round pick. I am going to select, because I think I'm concentrated too much in one era at this point, I'm going to go ahead and take Vladimir Tarasenko.
Woo! Like it. So the first current player taken.
Yeah, just the guy that I think has had the most impact as any single player on Blues fandom since Brett Hull. Everybody in town knows, even the non-hockey fans, they know who Vladimir Tarasenko is. From the hat trick in his first game against Detroit to just helping the Blues get to the Stanley Cup final. That pass to Braden Shen in Game 7, the no look. Well, he looks, and then he doesn't look, and hits it, puts it on a tee to Braden Shen. He's known as a goal scorer, but that pass, just second to none, I think, in Blues history.
Awesome. That's a great pick. And again, we are in the middle of the third round, and we are going to I've already lost the number, but middle pick in the third round. Curt Price.
Yes. Okay. So I can't go forward here. I've picked 3 forwards already. I got to distribute this a little bit. I'm gonna go with Pronger and McInnes are taken. If I go defenseman, let's go with Manny
Legacy. Oh, that's his pick right there.
I'm gonna go.
Mano Rayom.
You know what?
I don't think she reaches the games played requirement.
Let's go. This is a tough decision for me.
You're on the clock. You got about a minute.
Am I?
Yep.
Man. Okay. I'll go. You know what? I'll go Pietrangelo.
Wise choice.
Yeah. I mean, it's, if I'm going defenseman, that's a fairly easy pick, I guess, even though I struggled over it. One of the best defensemen we've had, arguably, I beat behind Pronger McInnes, third best. So, arguably. So, let's see, what are his numbers here? Pietrangelo, 109 goals, 341 assists, 450 points in 758 games played. We just mentioned 2 points behind McInnes. So, and had we finished last season, he would be tops. So, Pietrangelo, that's my pick.
With the last pick in the third round, the Drax Technologies Slashers are very proud to select Jeff Brown.
That's who I was debating about going with.
So you're getting ready to edit it there. I would put it in the second pair because he's a lefty.
Can you see you can do it? Go ahead.
Yeah, I can do it. I'll do it.
Good.
But yeah, so Jeff Brown is my next pick. The dude was phenomenal. Again, I've told the story many times. I told it to Jeff Brown on this show. If you've not heard that interview with Jeff Brown from earlier this year, one of the shining achievements of my life, to be quite honest, because I idolized that guy growing up. Just one of the best defensemen that Blues hockey has seen. Had one season here in St. Louis where he put up 78 points, which I doubt will ever be beaten by a Blues defenseman. Unless you get like an Erik Karlsson type in the draft at some point. But 71 games played that year, 78 points. A guy who I felt like was very underappreciated in terms of the NHL, not saying Blues fans, but NHL. Just a guy that did not get the love that I felt he deserved. Excellent player, excellent teammate as well, from what I've heard, except for people from Vancouver. because of obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But let's not bring that up because Jeff's a friend of the show. So Jeff Brown gets my pick in the end of the third round. My next pick
Can you put him in?
is gonna. What's that?
Can you put him in? I want to see if you can edit.
Oh yeah. I'll edit right now. So as I'm talking, my next pick is gonna go to. Hang on. Nope, it's not letting me now.
Jesus Christ.
All right,
Yeah,
so
Curt, it's your
that's
job,
what you get for
bud.
being fancy. Yeah, that's what you get for being fancy, Curt. Trying to lock cells and
I was just
Anyway.
that way I couldn't edit yours, you couldn't edit mine. It'd be easy, no mistakes. Anyway.
all right.
Anyway.
So can't you just turn off all protection? I would just say do that.
I tried to. I don't know how to do that. Let me see.
I would highlight all of it. Yeah, and then
did.
maybe just right click
Yeah, I
and
did.
say
Protect range.
that's really messed up. Anyway, I'll make my pick while you work in there. Brian Sutter is my next pick. So that's going to round out my top line of Sutter, Turgeon, and Babbage, which I love. That sounds like a fucking match made in heaven. Brian Sutter, 12 years for the Blues, 779 games played, 303 goals, 636 points. Again, you look back to the Federico Sutter era as I wear him on my shirt proudly. Just an unbelievable hockey player, just the true power forward of his day, a guy that would not back down from anybody and could put pucks in the net like nobody's business. So Brian Sutter, my first pick of the fourth round. Curt, you're up.
Okay, so you got Sutter, putting him at second line, I guess, behind Turgeon.
Nah, he's a left winger, my friend.
Oh, my bad. All right. Yeah, messing with the spreadsheet trying to fix the permissions, but I can't do.
Tell you what, Curt, take a minute. Since you've been doing that, we've got a couple comments here that I want to get to. Mike Leon, friend of the show, says Pierre scored the goal, 1999. We've referenced that many times on this show. One of our favorite goals of all time in Blues history. Then we got Landon Fitzgerald saying, "Don't sleep on Nelson Emerson." I would not be surprised to see him picked at some point. Winning Unlimited. Look at this, Curt. You're getting some love. He says, yes, Curt's team is exactly how I would have picked. The game, 67-68. Don't know if you've ever commented before, but welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining us. Curt, better draft any and all number 12 Blues players. So I'm guessing he's paid attention to the show before.
Yeah, Jim Montgomery is on my list.
Jim Montgomery, Chris Kennedy, Lee Stempniak. They're all on there, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Dale
gold ad.
Dale Howard
is available. And I'm not going to add the next thing because that's going to get into Curt's pick. So, Curt, if you're ready, go ahead and make your next pick.
Yeah. I'm going to go with, and this might not be the best pick right now at this point in the draft, but I like it. I'm going to go with let me check one thing here real quick. Because, this is what I do. I don't prepare, and then I've got to do this kind of stuff.
Do you need some filler, Curt?
No, I'm gonna go with Parayko.
Oh, that's a good pick.
I mean, I like the pick. I wonder if it was too early for him. So we'll see.
You know what? It might be too early for us to call his career right now. He might still be the greatest Blues defenseman of all time. We don't know.
That's true. No, we've talked about him, and he's been fantastic. Granted, his best days may still be ahead of him. So, based on his performance so far, maybe as a Blue, maybe he's not up there quite where I picked him, but I still like him a lot. I think he has Pronger-like abilities as far as his ability to control the ice when he really wants to. He's big. He's got that long wingspan. He's as far as offensively skilled defenseman goes, I don't know if I've seen a better all around drive to the net, stick handling offensive defenseman than Parayko. He's big bodied and he's got some hands. Maybe the best hands of a Blues defenseman. I'm trying to think of a better one. Pronger was fantastic, but he didn't have the speed or the stick handling that Parayko did. Sam McInnes was an amazing shot and was great defensively, but he wasn't a great good stick handler. So Parayko. Parayko's it. And that would be Bill is up next.
All right. I'm going with my next pick. I'm going Pavel Demitra.
Nice.
That's who I wanted.
Yeah, he's not going to last much longer. I mean, hands down, the post Brett Hull era, just such a dynamic player. Very, I felt like when he was with the Blues, he was always underrated. He was lumped in with the cycling Slovaks, but I think he made Michael Handzus the player that he became. And Handzus went on to some success outside of St. Louis. But I think Demitra made him the player that he was. He was so dynamic, mostly played center. He's considered a center for our purposes. Well, let me clarify that. What are you going by, Curt, as left wing? Is that because
he's marked as a left winger on Hockey Reference?
Oh man, that's consider him a center or a right wing, honestly.
Yeah. So I'll take him. I'll take him as my left winger. I think I have Hockey Database, and they have him as a center, so that's fine. I love that top line: Fedorko, Tarasenko, and Demitra.
Solid.
Yeah,
that is solid.
Like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
So I like it a lot. And for my next pick, I am going to go with gotta fill in some of these other areas. So oh man, this is tough, but I'm gonna go with Barclay Plager, defenseman.
Nice.
Is he a lefty or a righty? Where do you want him? Since it's not, since that's not defined, and defensemen can switch sides. I don't think we're gonna be sticklers on which side they play. You put a defenseman on.
Yeah, just put him in the next spot next to McInnes.
Okay, hold on. I'm deleting a couple cells here. Barclay Plager. That's
Why Barclay Plager? Go ahead, Bill.
Because he was by the way, soul. Right. Yeah, he was the soul of the Blues. I mean, Bob Plager, is known as the heart and soul of the Blues, but during his time before his unfortunate early passing due to cancer, Barclay Plager was the consummate Blue. He was the leader of the Plager brothers. He was a fan favorite. Went on to coach the minor league teams. I think he coached a little bit in Kansas City and in Peoria. And he is, one of the first people that I remember, his passing, where there was so much community somberness from it. But absolutely, it doesn't hurt that I also, one of my first jerseys that I had was a Barclay Plager. Even though it didn't have his name on the back because they didn't do that in that era, I had a Barclay Plager number 8 as a child. It was great.
Curt, in case you need more time. I got some comments I can read here real quick.
No.
Go ahead. Oh, well, I'll read them anyway. Yep. So your last pick, Curt, when you picked Parayko, Running Unlimited says, my pick if I was Curt, Dimitra. So obviously Bill took him off the board right after that. Mm-hmm. Landon Fitzgerald, Bill has a heavier slapper than Colton. Wow, that's saying a lot. Bill, apparently you've got a great shot.
Bill does. Bill's shot hurts. I've gotten hit in front of that by many of them.
You know, Landon Fitzgerald brings up a great comment here. Dimitra is in my top 5. I say that all day, but I just kept seeing positions that needed to be filled. If we were ranking, doing a flat ranking, I probably would have put Dimitra up there. But I had to fill positions. That's the only reason he wasn't taken yet. Hotard 12 says Dimitra is a right wing all day. I'm with that. Like I said, right wing or center, but the rule was we're going off Hockey Reference. So that's just how it is. Then we'll get to a couple more of these. First of all, real quick, Austin Lynch. Hello, Jeffrey, Curtis, and Billard. How are you all this fine evening? We're great. How are you?
We're having fun. And, it's not even 11 o'clock, and we're barely through a round.
Yeah,
it'll pick up. We'll pick it up.
Yeah. I was gonna say that the first couple rounds I think are more important. After that, we'll just kind of give the guy and then explain quickly and then move on. So, Curt, your next pick.
I'm going to go with. Let's see, I got defense. I got forwards. I got to go with a goaltender. Man, you know what? This is either gonna make some people say yes or make some people get really pissed. I'm gonna take Brian Elliott.
Whoa! Wow. Going off the board.
Yep. I'm gonna say yes for multiple reasons. I like that pick a lot. Not just because it leaves other goalies available, but it's a great pick. It really is.
I like it.
I like it. He is the all-time Blues leader in goals against average and save percentage and shutouts. So, I mean, and we've talked about him during his time. I mean, we've had a show ever since it's covered his time here, and we've talked about him at length. I could have went a couple other guys easy, but I'm partial to Elliott's play during his. I mean, he was the best goalie in the NHL during his time here in goals against average and save percentage. If you look up the numbers during his span here, he had the number 1 goals against average and number 1 save percentage while he was here. So there was not a better goaltender in the league than Elliott. So if part of the parameters are how someone played during their time here, he was the best goalie in the NHL. So how can I not pick him? So there you go.
No, and contextually, the Blues signed him as the guy that was likely going to be the AHL guy, and he makes the team and takes over the number 1 job from Halak. Brilliant. I like the pick.
And my next pick, which we're gonna. I just want to point out again, people, this is a fantasy hockey strategy. There are other players I would normally take ahead of this guy, but I just think it makes the most sense for me.
Well, you're trying to put together the best team. Yeah, I mean, the best team.
Exactly.
You want. I mean, I guess you could go offense heavy, defense heavy, whatever. But I mean, you want to have a team that's going to beat. I want my team to be able to, on paper, hey, I got a better team than Jeff and Bill. That's the way overall.
No, exactly. Right. I'm just telling you, I'm looking, let's just say it this way. I'm looking at positions that you guys already have filled, and I'm saying I don't need to make that pick right now.
Right.
Because of certain positions that are filled.
Right.
So my next pick, I'm actually going to take Doug Gilmour as my second line center.
Ooh. That might have been my next pick.
Yeah, Dougie Gilmour. Now, again, he really, truly blossomed as a Toronto Maple Leaf after the Blues moved him. But, I mean, he had some great years here in St. Louis where he started his career, 105-point season in 86-87, 42 goals in 80 games, 105 points. Just a fantastic player. I've said this before, that when I play like NHL 94, first thing that I do is I acquire Doug Gilmour for the St. Louis Blues, because I loved him as a young kid. I played with him on the NHL games all the time. Just a big fan. Dougie Gilmour is my last pick of the 4th round.
Can you want to make a trade? I'll give you a cup of sugar for it.
I don't think so.
Sorry, too soon.
I don't think so, man.
That's
yeah, I think, and so in between. Go ahead, Bill.
I was to say that's the whole bullshit reason why he was traded out of town was supposedly hooking up and
right.
His introduction was can I borrow a cup of sugar?
And speaking of accused infidelity, now here's a word from our sponsor.
I'm telling you, you better be prepared, because when I yank it out, everybody in that audience, with the exception of my wife, is going to be running for the exits.
Autumn is in the air, and Manscaped is here to ensure you don't carve your pumpkins while grooming. And by pumpkins, we actually mean your boys downstairs. In fact, Manscaped is on a mission to change the way you approach caring for your balls. And great news, they just released their products in the UK, Canada, and Australia. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code LGB. Make your balls a priority this fall.
I'm telling you, you better be prepared, because when I yank it out, everybody in that audience, with the exception of my wife, is going to be running for the exits.
Autumn is in the air, and Manscaped is here to ensure. Oops. I had this all ready to go. I'm like, oh, I didn't set the new stage up. My bad. Yeah, fail. But yeah, just in time for the holidays, right? With the Manscaped stuff. If you want, and there's only a few more days left on that promo. So if you are considering taking advantage of that, 20% off and free shipping on anything on your entire order at Manscaped, and you can use it over and over again. It's not a one-time deal. Go and do that. It may end on the 7th, so 6th, 7th. So get that in before that. So again, manscaped.com, 20% off, free shipping. Take advantage. It's a good gift, and for you lady folk.
And let's not stress enough. I mean, I know that we say our promo ends here in a couple days. To use that code, that might change. But if you are wanting to use this as a Christmas gift and you want it sent before Christmas, order right now. I mean, the minute you're hearing this podcast, jump on manscaped.com and make your order, because you don't know how long. I mean, I'm sure they have on their site. I haven't looked. Maybe I'm a bad podcaster who's being sponsored by them. I haven't looked. I'm sure they've got something on their site that says when the last day to order is, to guarantee before Christmas. But why wait? Just make the order now. And LGB is the code. I've used it and gotten some great deals on stuff. I know friends that have used it. Adam Gold, friend of the show, I know he bought some stuff from them, and he has said that they are fantastic, and he's very happy with the service he's gotten. So yeah, give it a try, folks. Manscaped.com.
Everybody that has used their products that we've talked to has raved about it. So, I mean, it's not, and we keep saying this, it's not something that we would promote the way we do on the show if we didn't think it was good stuff and believe in the product. So it really is, from their trimmers, shavers, boxers, t-shirts, nail clippers, shampoo, body wash. It's all really, I mean, everything I've tried, I've tried a number of the things. It's been fantastic. So give it a try. It's high quality stuff too. So it ain't none of that white rain from Walmart. It's good stuff. So Jeff, you got one more, your second pick, right?
Yes, yeah, and I'm gonna might be going a little off the board here. By the way, Hotard12 says waste of a pick, could have got him way later. you guys would have taken Doug Gilmour recently, right? Like very soon.
I would have taken him my next couple picks. And are you going to put him in?
Yeah.
I guess I could do that, huh? I've only had time to do that. So anyway, my next pick is slightly off the board. I'm going to go just by word of mouth, honestly. Jorgen Pedersen is my next pick. And again, it's not that he has bad stats by any means. As a Blue, 365 games played, 332 points. But if you read Bernie Federko's book, My Blue Note, which I'm looking to see, I think I have it right over here. I'll hold it up to the camera here in a minute. But he basically says in there, Jorgen Pedersen is one of the most skilled players he's ever played with. He only spent a couple years in the NHL, but he played professionally all over the world. Just a very skilled left winger. And I feel like somebody who could really contribute on my second line.
That is an excellent pick.
Yeah.
He was also a favorite of mine, in the early days of my Blues fandom. I have a scrapbook that I kept as a kid, and one of the just clippings from the newspaper, and one of them was Pedersen collecting this gigantic cowboy hat after he scored a hat trick. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. I'll see if I can. It should be right on my bookshelf. I'll see if I can pull that out after my next pick.
I've referenced this book multiple times, but I cannot stress enough. If you're a Blues fan, if you have not read through this, it is a fun read. It took me only a couple days to get through it, just because you just don't want to put it down. So My Blues Note by Bernie Federko, he talks about all those eras of hockey. And again, it's very slight because he wasn't here long, but Jorgen Pedersen, he talks very high accolades of the player he was.
Oh boy. Okay. What am I gonna do here? I got a couple I'm going back and forth on. I'm gonna go with Mr. Joe Mullen.
Nice.
That is an excellent pick.
He as a Blue, he had 335 points in 301 games. Had a breakout season in 83-84 with 41 goals. Followed that up with a 40-goal season in 80-45. And then the Blues basically they moved him to they didn't want to pay him when his contract was up, and he went on to have won a Stanley Cup with Calgary and I think Pittsburgh too, right? Yeah, 2 in Pittsburgh. So yeah, he had a great career after he left St. Louis, but he had a fantastic, especially last couple of years here in St. Louis, with back-to-back 40-goal seasons, and averaged over a point a game in his career here, over 300 games. So, Mr. Joe Mullen, right winger.
We are not paid by Bernie Federko. Let me stress that. But again, if you read his book, that is another player he mentions was one of the most skilled players he's ever played with.
All right, Bill.
All right. Pressure's on. I feel like I need to fill in some forward positions. So I am going to go ahead and with my next pick, I am going to take Alexander Steen.
I love how you are like clearly like trying to buy time because you don't know who you're taking next.
I did the same thing.
Yeah. It's between he and another person, another left winger. But I'm not going to name names because that person could still very much be available. So I'm protecting myself more than anybody else. And I'm going to go off the board for my next pick, and I'm going to take Ryan O'Reilly.
Nice. He almost gets forgotten about when you talk about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good
He
pick.
hasn't been
That's
here
who
long
that's
enough
who I was going to take.
It's a good pick.
to get high up on the list. But,
you can go. You can go ahead and enter. You have it right now, Bill, so you can enter your picks.
Okay, I will do that. But first, I want to share the picture that I said I had. Jorgen Pedersen skating off with a gigantic friggin' cowboy hat with his first hat trick.
Nice.
I don't know. At some point, I'm gonna have to get all this stuff scanned in because man, there are some beauties in this book.
You got one more pick, Bill.
Yep.
No, I took both mine.
You took.
But if you want me to go again,
he took O'Reilly and
Steen.
Oh, Steen. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, Steen. Yeah.
My bad.
They're in there now.
Okay,
They're in
gotcha.
there now.
All right. I thought I had a few more seconds to make this pick.
That's okay. You do, because I can list off some comments here. We've got Puck Guy 14. I wonder if Puck Guy 14. By the way, good friend of the show, was on our last episode. So again, Teal Town, USA. If you're at all interested in what the Sharks guys have to say over there in San Jose, some of the most intelligent hockey guys I have met, and that is saying a lot because I have met a lot of hockey guys. Puck Guy 14 says, I wonder if Brett Hedican or Jeff Norton are going to go. Two great references to Sharks lore. I think that was for the Elliott pick. Landon. Waste of a pick, could have got him way later. From Hotard 12. Landon's probably right. I thought it was for my pick of Doug Gilmour, but I think he's talking about your Elliott pick, which
maybe.
Yeah,
maybe, but
and I'm sorry, Hotard does clarify, talking about Moose.
Okay, yeah, and I get it. And I even said before I picked him, I was like, this is gonna make some people say what, but I mean, I probably, based on his stats during his time here, probably the most underappreciated player we've ever had. Off the top of my head, I agree. Just because he wasn't here for just a season. It was 5 years, 4 or 5 years, and he was the best goalie in the NHL stat-wise, goals against average and save percentage wise over that span. And he didn't get 60 starts a season, 65 whatever as a number one solidly, but he was playing half the games, a little over half. So I get it. I mean, I probably could have had him a couple rounds later, but still.
All right, you ready for your pick?
Yes, I am ready for my pick. I'm going to go with, I thought I was. Yeah. I'm going to go Gary Unger.
Oh, good pick.
He was
very solid pick.
Fourth all time in scoring for the Blues, home forwards, with 575 points. And he was the, fourth, and he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The 16th pick. 15th pick. The 15th forward taken, but he is fourth all time in scoring for the Blues among forwards. So I think that's a good pick for me. And the Iron Man, Gary Unger, too.
Yeah. Oh, very much so.
Yeah. Didn't miss a game. Well, didn't miss many.
So my next pick, which I believe we're in the 5th round?
No, we're in the 8th round.
We're in the 8th or 8th?
8th
really?
Round. This is your 8th pick.
Oh, we are. Yeah, this is my 8th pick. Okay.
Well, 8th pick.
My next pick.
Yeah, rounds with snakes, whatever. 8th pick.
My next pick is a guy who spent some time here in St. Louis, 8 years, which, it's the most he had in his career, but maybe not known universally for his time in St. Louis. I'm going to go with Red Berenson as my third line center.
Yep, that was
Red Berenson. Just one of, obviously holds the record with many for goals in a game, and just still to this day one of the greatest coaches we've seen in all of hockey. So a guy who really understands the game, two-way player from all aspects that I've heard. I never had the chance to see him play, unfortunately, but from what I hear, just a great two-way player, 82 points in 76 games in his first full season in St. Louis in 68-69, helped them get to the Stanley Cup final that year. So Red Berenson gets my next pick After that, I'm going to go slightly off the board here. And it's somebody that a lot of people have been mentioning in the chat, and I didn't think I was going to take him this early, but I think putting him on my top defensive pairing is vital. One season in St. Louis, Scott Stevens. I'm taking Scott Stevens right now. He had 1 year here in St. Louis, 78 games played, so he meets our benchmark. And 49 points in that time, 150 penalty minutes. And as anybody who knows who saw him play, one of the greatest, probably the greatest hitter to ever play hockey. So Scott Stevens is somebody that I felt like deserves to be on my team, especially with I got a rough and tough team here. I got a Sutter, I got a Babbage, I got a Pronger, and I got a Stevens now.
Oh man, that was a good pick. Who am I going to take? I'm going to go with. Whoops, wrong window. How about look up one thing? I'm going to go Tkachuk, left wing.
Daniel Tkachuk?
Good.
Yes. Yeah, no,
that
he
is blinding.
427 points, 543 games, a couple hundred goals, 208 goals. Power forward, Blues. So Shanahan, Tkachuk, anchoring my top two lines on left wing. So, Bill.
All right. Well, that made kind of made one of my next picks clearer. I'm trying to make sure I'm getting the right position here. All of my stuff is from Hockey Database, and we're going by position by hockey reference. So bear with me just a second while I take a look here and see.
While Bill's doing that, we got some comments. Puck Guy 14, former coach of the RHI's Oakland Skates, Gary Unger, and that is a roller hockey team, folks, for those that don't know. Winning Unlimited, about time Stevens went. Good job, Ponder. Thanks, buddy. And Puck Guy 14 adds, for your last pick, Keith Tkachuk, he says, nice pick, Curt. So I think he agreed with your pick of Tkachuk.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh man, tough choices here. I feel like I'm a little light in right wing and goaltending. Well, not goaltending. Right wing and defense. So from a right wing perspective, and I'm at a disadvantage since the data I pulled was from the wrong site, but I'm going to go TJ Oshie for my second line right winger.
Ooh,
I like Oshie. People gave him a lot of people loved Oshie. I loved Oshie. I think far too many people kind of criticized him unfairly when he was here. You heard a lot of maybe it was just social media junk, but you always heard people, he's always falling down, or that kind of junk. I liked Oshie.
Yeah, definitely a fan. And for my next pick, I'm going to go with a defenseman. I'm going to go with Rob Ramage.
Yep.
Rammer, his best days, the core of his career, I think, was played in St. Louis, but his best days were Calgary and Montreal, where he won Stanley Cups in 89 and 93. But Rob Ramage, he is one of the guys, you always hear about the guys that make St. Louis home after their career's over. And Rammer was one of those guys. He came back to St. Louis, had some attempt at doing sideline reporting for the Blues that was at times uncomfortable.
It was pretty bad.
So
Yeah,
in that period, yeah, he
really
jumped
bad.
all over the screen. But he also had inspired by another player who may wind up getting picked before all is said and done, Blake Dunlap. He actually had a great career here in St. Louis in the financial services industry, and unfortunately, his career is overshadowed by the unfortunate Keith Magnuson incident. But as a player, Rob Ramage was a hard-ass defenseman, tons of penalty minutes, hard to play against. Was key on the '86 team that took Calgary to Game 7 with a Monday Night Miracle. Defensive linchpin for that team. So yeah, no more can be said.
Yeah, I think Frontenac Penitentiary was where he called his home for a little while.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, Curt.
All right. See, we're starting to get into the point of the draft where it's getting interesting. Like a lot of the players that you expected to go or have gone, and mostly, and it's like, okay, now there's like multiple players that could be a good pick, Gosh, I think I'll go Shattenkirk.
Nice.
Shattenkirk.
That is an awesome pick. It was between Shattenkirk and Ramage for me.
Yeah, and the same for me. I was kind of like you said, it kind of made my decision a little easier there with the defensive pick. So, Jeff,
I'm going to go with a current St. Louis Blue as my left wing. David Perron has joined.
Son of a bitch!
And honestly, it's because again, I look at my lineup and I say, man, he is a decent third line guy who can wreak havoc and can also put pucks in the net. I mean, I'm excited, not to get into projections for this season, but I'm excited to see how he builds off last season. He was a goal scorer, a pure goal scorer for the Blues last year when Tarasenko went down. And I think he's got a lot more to give, and I think we're going to see him jump up those rankings for Blues forwards in history. But yeah, I think David Perron would be a solid third line winger on my all-star Blues team.
Good pick.
So that's my next pick.
Good pick.
Yep, I'll take Perron there, and then at right wing after him, I will take. Oh boy, hang on. Is he already taken? No. I'm going to take Gary Sabourin, who might be a name that a lot of people don't know. He was one of the original Blues. Spent a lot of his time here in St. Louis, 7 years, 463 games played, and 267 points, but was a power right wing for the Blues. 334 penalty minutes, a guy who did not mind mucking it up. And I just remember hearing stories from my dad that Gary Sabourin was a guy you did not mess with, and he was a very passionate hockey player, and that just sounds like a guy I want on my team. So I'm going to take Gary Sabourin with my first pick of the 10th, 11th round.
Whatever it is.
11th round. It's the 11th round.
And that was your second pick, right? First pick.
Yep. So yeah, so you're good. You're
Okay.
good to go, Curt.
Okay. I think a really good third line center for my team, seeing as how Jeff's team is pretty tough in front of the net. I'm gonna go with Backus as my third line center.
Nice.
Yep.
So you're taking him as a center.
Yeah, I think so. What is he listed on? I didn't even look. I assumed. Let me see.
On Hockey Reference, he is listed as center.
That's okay.
On
Okay.
Hockey Database, he's listed as right wing.
And his time with the Blue, he had. I mean, he was a very productive forward, power forward leader. So I liked him. 460 points, 727 games played. And I think as a third line center, I think he'd be fantastic. So, all right, Bill.
Hard to argue with that pick. The next pick for me, I am gonna go with Scott Young. I need another right winger, and I need another right winger who can put pucks in the net.
That's good.
So Scotty Young, 377 games played as a Blue, 125 goals, 128 assists. Especially during the era that he played, it was the obstruction era. So he was productive. Pierre Turgeon helped him quite a bit, but Scotty Young, he's mine. And for my next pick after Scott Young, I'm gonna go with another center, and I'm gonna go with Dougie Waite.
Nice.
I was having a hard time. Backus, Waite. Yeah, that's a good pick.
So Dougie Waite, he played in a tough era in St. Louis. Was here for the Pronger trading.
Yeah.
Went on to Carolina. Got to lift the cup, but did it with one good shoulder and almost dropped it. But I was in the building that night. It was great to see Dougie Waite lift in the Stanley Cup. So glad to have him on my team.
Okay, let's see here. I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to add a defenseman here. Go with a fourth defenseman. I'm going to go with Mr. Paul Cavallini.
Nice.
Oh, good pick.
So I need a lefty too, so. Spell his last name. Paul Cavallini. So he had, let's see, with St. Louis, he played in 337 games. He had, they played 6 years here, 37 goals, 120 assists, 157 points. He had back-to-back seasons with, where is it here? Back-to-back seasons with 10 goals, 25 assists. So 35 points, which is in the early 90s, 1991, 91, 92. So, and I was always a Cavallini fan. So that's my pick. Paul Cavallini. Jeff.
Yeah, my next pick is probably slightly off the board and might seem weird looking at my roster, but I'm entering him as we speak. According to Hockey DB, he is a left wing. Esa Tikkanen.
That's good. I thought about him for my fourth line. I did. I really did.
I thought he was fantastic as a Blue. Now, he only spent a little, well, parts of 2 seasons here in St. Louis. 54 games played, barely meets our minimum of 48 games played. But again, he only had 40 points in 54 games, but was just an effective hockey player for the Blues. Definitely my first line penalty killer. Esa Tikkanen, just an excellent guy. From what I hear, of all accounts, locker room guy and just a wonderful hockey player. Love the way he played the game. So Esa Tikkanen is a guy who I feel like deserves to be picked at this point. After that, there are so many guys that I look at and I say they had great careers here in St. Louis. So it's really hard to pick somebody, and I'm clearly vamping here, guys. But I'm going to pick my fourth line center, which is going to seem weird for a fourth line, but I think with Tikkanen, there's going to be a scoring touch there. And since Curt is not allowed to draft him, I'm going to take Craig Janney as my fourth line center.
Craig Janney as your checking center.
Yes, I know. A little weird, but you could probably flip them here and there. Maybe put Berenson or even Gilmore in that position. But 4 years in St. Louis, 186 games played, 185 points, pretty much a point per game player. His time, you can look at his NHL career and say it wasn't that great, but as a St. Louis Blue, he was fantastic. So I will gladly put number 15 on my roster.
Okay, so I think with my next pick, I'm going to go with left winger Jeff Courtnall.
Not a bad pick.
Is it 2 L's in Courtnall? Let's see. It is. So during his time in St. Louis, 326 games played, 232 points. That's he spent more time with St. Louis than any other team. He had 2 stints with St. Louis. Short stints at 1991, 66 games, and then he finished his career here. His last 5 seasons he played here. So really good agitator, good checker. And he was anytime you can get a guy who is a really good agitator who can be productive offensively. That's a guy that is a pretty valuable. Other teams hate that also scores. God, fans hate those players, and that makes me smile when they're on your team. Okay, Bill.
Very nice. I like it. My next pick, I'm going Barrett Jackman.
Yeah.
I need a tough defense, between Bark Plager, Rob Ramage, and Barrett Jackman. I think I have a very solid, tough defensive core. Jax is my next pick. And following Barrett Jackman, I am going to go ahead and take Grant Fuhr as my backup goalie.
Nice. Very nice. I like that. Grant Fuhr backing up Liut. That's a nice tandem.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's a backup. I think that's a split start, if you ask me.
Yeah, it would be, quite honestly. And from a fantasy perspective, I would be looking to trade from a position of power if we were to do that. But yeah, I'm taking all the goalies.
And
Curt.
Yeah. Do you need me to read comments?
No.
Give you a little time.
You can if you want. Yeah, go ahead if you don't mind.
Okay, the game 67-68, which, who the hell are you? He says, Jeff better pick Eric Brewer. You obviously listen to the show or know me. So clearly, please, identify yourself. This is like a Masked Singer situation here. Winning Unlimited, Stevens was the steal of the draft, but Brewer could be the next one.
I agree. That was a great pick.
Thank you. And then we just a couple more comments. Nice pick. Courtnall was a solid NHL 94 player as well. Winning Unlimited, Jeff Urgent. Aren't you drafting coaches too? We joked about including that, but I think maybe we'll pick our coaches at the very end. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Curt, all you, buddy.
Okay. Gosh. I think I could vamp here, but it's hard to research while you're vamping.
Yes. Would you like me to vamp further for you?
No, you're fine. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh man, he's listed as a center. What the hell?
I'd say Bill and I could sing a duet right now if that'll help.
No, I'll take. I will take Vince Dunn.
Whoa!
Yeah,
I like it.
Well,
I like it.
I mean,
not a bad pick at all.
No, I mean, and it's funny because I think Dunn gets a bad rap for some defensive liabilities, but you know what? Advanced stats, and I'm a huge advanced stats stickler as far as like, you know, putting all your eggs in that basket. You know, too many people do that without, you know, actually watching the player play. But I advanced stats love Vince Dunn. They absolutely love him. So much so that he rates higher than Parayko a lot of times. So, yeah, I'm coming with that. If anything, my defense is going to be lighting the lamp. So
That's true.
here you go, Bill.
Oh, it's back to me already.
Wait,
Oh.
is it him or is it me?
Oh,
Bill, what was your last pick?
we're going the wrong way?
My last.
Oh, that's right.
pick
You were Fury. That's
was-
right. It's Fury.
Yeah, was
Fjord.
Grant Fury.
Yeah,
So
okay,
it
so
should
it's
be
me.
Jeff.
Okay, yeah, it's me.
All
All right. So for me, I'm I don't know. There's a lot of ways I could go here. I keep looking. It's funny because like even when you do like a fantasy draft or whatever, you constantly go back to a certain name. And I've been going back to this name for the last 2 rounds, so I feel like I just need to pick him now. Maybe it's nostalgia. Maybe it's, you know, his place in Blues history. But I'm going to take Greg Paslowski as my next pick.
I love Paslowski.
Yeah, dude.
Stealing it
Paslowski!
And they'll go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, who was it? It stole it off of the stick of
Reinhardt. No, not Reinhardt.
Yeah, no, I think
that
he
was
might be
Reinhardt.
right.
No,
Yeah.
maybe it was.
Because Reinhardt happened in overtime too, but
yeah,
maybe not.
Maybe it was.
But no,
Yeah.
Paslowski, just a solid career with the Blues, 330 games played, 208 points. And again, I do slightly remember seeing him play. One of my first memories is seeing him score a goal with the Blues. And then my dad saying he's not coming back next season, so don't like him very much. And that was in the 88-89 season. So I was 4 years old probably when that happened. But yeah, I do remember that very well. And I remember thinking, man, that guy's a good player. So Greg Paslowski gets my last pick of this round. Then, you know, it might be early to take this guy, but I just feel like he is the embodiment of the St. Louis Blues. And if I'm going to have a leader, I got to have Bob Plager on my team. Bobby Plager is my next pick. He fills out my my defense. So him and Jeff Brown, which imagine those two in their prime playing on the defense together. That's ridiculous. But yeah, so I'm going to go Bobby. I don't have his stats in front of me, but again, you just look at the type of player he was. He was an original Blue. He's still a St. Louis Blue to this day, which says a lot. And he's a staple in St. Louis. If I want to get the fans behind me, I'm going to have Bob Plager on my team.
615 games played, 20 goals, 121 assists, and 762 penalty minutes. That is a very stout pick. I like it.
Considering the way that I've drafted my team, I look at that and I say, yeah, Bob Plager belongs on my team.
I am trying to find, because a couple of guys that come up that I wanted to draft and they weren't in the right position, according to Hockey Reference.
I know I've had that problem too. It's
So that
kind
kinda
of
sucks,
annoying, actually.
Same thing.
Yeah. Let's see. Nope, that one too. Man, god dang it. Okay.
Oh, Hotard 12. You completely butchered how you spell his name. Reinhard Davis. Wow. I've never seen somebody mess a name up so bad. But yeah, Reinhard Davis is a funny one. Guys, I meant to bring this up off air, but I'm going to say it now. We might want to consider doing a worst Blues player draft as well. I think that could be a lot of fun.
That's not a bad idea. Okay, I'm having a hard time finding. Okay, so maybe I'll let that simmer then.
I feel like Hockey Reference has everybody listed as center.
Yeah, isn't the case? I'm trying to find.
Yeah, they got a good amount.
So that was probably not the best idea, but it is what it is.
Well, Curt, I'll give you a little more time here. I'll read some comments. The game 6768 says I would have picked Dunn before Shattenkirk, but you got both. So good for you, Curt.
Yeah, okay.
And then we've got Winning Unlimited, Korea Schwartz still around, which is Korea, not so surprising to me, but Schwartz, that's a little bit of a surprise.
Schwartz is also listed as a center in Hockey Reference too, so that makes it rough.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Can we veto that? That's ridiculous. We got to veto that one. He's a left wing.
I'm just saying.
But I'm just going to add that now. Whoever wants to draft him, he's the left wing. I think we're going to have to veto that one. Puck Guy 14, Guerin or Nash. So Billy Guerin and Tyson Nash are two guys he's referencing. Otard 12 says Chaser. Winning Unlimited says 0506, Guerin is unworthy of this draft. Also says wouldn't take Twist or Chase in this league, but would take Reeves, he says.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Twist couldn't skate worth a damn. Chase
the
could play.
game 6768, I will add Oshie has already been taken. So you can just delete your comment, fool. I'm just kidding. I say that because I feel like I probably know you. So take that as a joke.
You know what? I'm gonna go just because I'm gonna go for my right winger. I'm gonna go Nelson Emerson. There we go.
Your brother Greg loves you.
Yeah, right. His favorite player.
Yeah.
So Emerson, 165 games in St. Louis, 135 points over that span. So I mean, Emerson was a productive player, and I remember him playing center too. But he came up as in Hockey Reference as a right winger. I thought he played center too. No, scrappy little player, kind of like Cliff Ronning Part 2. Small, good, like pre-Theo Fleury. Or actually, they overlapped, didn't they? Yeah, Fleury and Emerson overlapped.
Yeah.
So, yeah, by quite a bit. So, like the poor man's Theo Fleury, I guess. I think it's your turn, Bill. Go in that direction.
Yeah. So based on Jeff's guidance here, I'm going Jaden Schwartz as my fourth line left winger.
Nice.
That's I mean, 520 games as a Blue, 364 points. Leader. The guy that I said I would like to see. Actually, he's my third line left wing. Guy I wouldn't mind seeing wearing the C. I know there's some contract issues that might prevent him from doing that, but I always thought he was going to turn out to be quite the player. A lot of people at work who were detractors of him and thought he would be out of town by now. But hey, he's still here, and he's a current favorite of mine. So best statistics left on the board. I've got to take him. That said, the next person with the best statistics, I'm not going to take, at least not yet. But for my next pick, I'm going to go with another defenseman, and I'm going to go with Steve Duchesne. Need a little more offense on my defense, and Steve Duchesne had a pretty productive career all around. His best days weren't in St. Louis, but he had solid days here in St. Louis. Where did his stats go? I just had him. Anyway, he was 163 points, I want to say, where I had that before, but I've gone spreadsheet blind at this point, and can't find him. So anybody who's stuck working from home can probably sympathize with being spreadsheet blind.
Oh, yes. 100%, my friend.
All right. And that was your second pick, Schwartz and Duchenne. Okay. All right. I'm up again. Let's go. Since there's like a plethora of centers on Hockey Reference, maybe I won't go center. Jeff's going to pick a goalie at some point here pretty soon. I'm guessing next. Maybe not. I don't know. There's still a bunch of. I mean,
Let's take all the goalies.
Yeah.
Make Jeff draft Yaro Halak.
I'm still okay with that.
Let's see.
As you should be.
Let's go. Man, we've had some really good goalies in this franchise. None of them were here for a long, long time. Gosh, I think I got to go. I'm going to go back and go. I'm going to go Curtis Joseph.
Damn it.
Curtis Joseph. 280 games played, a 304 GA, and a 907 save percentage. Doesn't sound impressive today, but he's third on all time with the Blues with wins. He played in an era that was much higher scoring. So, and arguably the not really arguably, probably the best goalie is not in the Hall of Fame. So, but again, his time here. I didn't pull up his time here, but I can. Curtis Joseph. Let's see. He played from the Blues from 89 to 95.
95.
Yeah. Keenan shipped him out. So he had 304, 907 as a Blue. 137 wins. So, and probably still my favorite goalie of all time. So, you're up, Jeff.
Well, I guess I need to go ahead and take a goalie, just because I don't want to lose off on all of them. The biggest name left, and just a perennial NHLer, Glenn Hall, is my next pick.
Yep.
Glenn Hall, again, St. Louis Blue from 1968 to 1971, 2.43 GAA in that era, .917 with 16 shutouts. One of the leaders, I think, top. Actually, I can check that right now. I want to say he's top 5. Yeah, he's number 4 all time in Blues history in shutouts with 16. So give me Glenn Hall as the first goalie on my team. And then the next player taken is going to be somebody that I have not decided yet.
It gets
still
tough
working
at this
on
point.
that, but
especially when
gonna
Hockey
vamp
Reference
a
is putting
little.
everybody as a center.
Tell you what, I'm going to take a player, and again, this is probably somebody not a lot of Blues fans are familiar with, and I think I've told this story on the show before, why I like this guy, but my next pick is going to be right wing Frank Saint Marseille. Saint Marseille, again, another original St. Louis Blue, 1967-68, he joined the team, spent 6 years here in St. Louis. Played some center, but they got him listed as a right wing on Hockey Reference, which is what we're going by. Again, I've told the story a million times, but I'll tell it really quick. Just a guy who loved the fans from what my dad told me going to games when I was young. Or I guess when he was young is what I meant to say. But I went to an alumni game once, and I sat right next to the glass. And he kept every period. He kept skating up to me and posing, so I would take a funny picture of him. And that happened, I think, I got 4 or 5 really good pictures of him that night. So that minute when I was like 16, when that happened, I was like, I love this guy. I love him. I don't care that I never saw him actually play. So Frank St. Marseille rounds out my forward list.
Man, again, there's a player that I want at a certain position, and he's listed as a center. I'm gonna take. I'll take.
Do you need me to vamp?
No, nah. I'll just bite the bullet and draft it, so I don't get this show over with. I'll take Perry Turnbull as
Nice.
As a center,
I
which
like
is
it.
let's say, even though I was going to put him at left wing. So he's got, let's see, Perry Turnbull. Is that the right page? Yes, it is. With St. Louis, 396 games played, 238 points, 139 goals. So with St. Louis, he had 3 consecutive 30-goal seasons, 34, 33, and 32. So, and that was in the early 80s. Back in the 80-81 team was a fantastic team. Turnbull was part of that. So, and I think it is your pick, Bill.
All right. I think I was mining for final round gems there. I apologize. But let me take Perry Turnbull off my board here. So I think it's no secret, on this show at least, that I like boys. So Brad Boyes.
Wow.
I think Brad Boyes is my fourth line right winger. I need some more goal scoring prowess.
That was
so.
That's actually a really
Brad
good pick
Boyes it is.
because he had a 40-goal season here, and after he left here, I don't think he did a whole lot at all, and he actually but he had a good time here with the Blues.
I'm going to say 43 goal season here in St. Louis, but I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, no, he did eclipse the 40 goal mark. I do recall that, and yeah, during that, the bad period, he was a bright spot for the Blues. One of those guys that was supposed to be big shit in Toronto and didn't pan out and worked out here. A lot like Alexander Steen. I like it. He's my pick.
Real quick, I just want to add I was correct. 43 goals in 2007-2008. That was his career high.
Ah, very nice. Well done.
33 the next season after that, which is not bad either.
And you've got, was that your first pick, Bill, or second?
That was my first pick.
Okay.
And a lot of people I could take with that, and I feel like I'm very, have recency bias going on. But I'm gonna go ahead and take Braden Shen for my center pick.
That's who I was. I was considering that too.
So yeah, there we go.
Well, where's my list here? There it is.
Do you need a vamp?
Yeah, if you don't, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So we've got Winning Unlimited. Jeff gets Bennington and maybe Hall. I think that was before my last pick. So yes, Glenn Hall went to my team. The game 67-68 is Bennington not allowed. Stepped in around the third round. No, he's allowed, right? He's played over 24 games for the Blues in the regular season.
Who?
Right.
Hotard.
Yep.
Hotard 12, Marty the Party, and Tom Barrasso. You must have missed Mr. Hotard the requirements we have, 48 games played for a skater, 24 games played for a goaltender. So both Marty the Party, as you call him, and Tom Barrasso are not eligible. Jacques Plante or Hall, Winnington Limited says. I guess that's, again, before I made my Hall pick. Austin Lynch, Halak, you know the GOAT. When he came here, he was supposed to be the GOAT, so that is true. Yep. Curt, you ready? I keep going. You need more?
Read a couple more. I'm almost there.
All right. Winning Unlimited, Turnbull over Brindamore. Curt had all my first picks exactly, started 5-0, and
here's the deal.
blew it in the last 15 minutes.
I considered Brindamore, but he played here 2 seasons, and his numbers here weren't anything great. So we're talking about the time as a Blue. I would have drafted Brindamore as my third line center, but he didn't play here long enough, didn't do enough here. That was my take on Brindamore.
Agree. And then the game 67-68, good one, Bill. I think he's talking about your boys pick. Totally forgot about him. The game 67-68, we got Brad Boyes from Boston, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Bill, you made a Toronto reference. He played in Toronto at the end of his career. He was a Boston player that we got who they thought was done, and the Blues ended up trading Dennis Weidman for him, if I remember correctly.
All right. To round out my defense, I'm going to take Bryce Salvador.
Ooh, my former boss. I like it.
Yeah, that is a nice pick. But I do want to go back and point out that Brad Boyes was a first-round draft pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
You're right.
Who never made it in Toronto the first time around. And only got to play there after his success in St. Louis and Boston. So
you're right. You're right. Actually,
and
about that.
Salvador is a defensive, more defensive defenseman, which I think I needed to balance out my defensive core with a little more of that. Pietrangelo is that, Parayko is that, but Salvador. I mean, Shattenkirk's not. Cavallini, yeah, he is, but Dunn isn't. So I needed somebody. I was not going to pick Butcher. So I'd rather have Salvador.
But Salvador could score a game-winning goal in overtime.
He could. He really could.
On a slap shot from a face-off win.
And and Havanov could tie a game late after being down 5 goals.
God, I was gonna make a Havanov reference in my next pick, but I'm gonna hold back now. My next pick, I'm actually similar to Curt. I just look and I say, I need a good, solid defensive defenseman. And again, this is a name that newer Blues fans would not know. I'm going to go with Jack Braunscheidel, actually. Braunscheidel is here.
That is a great pick.
Thank you. He was here for 7 years before joining Hartford. He 455 games played for the Blues, 192 points, nothing crazy. And yes, he had a minus 29. But again, those Blues teams, even though they made the playoffs every year, not the best teams, to be quite honest, in the early 80s there. But Jack Braunscheidel, good left shooting defenseman, solid guy that you could put out there to kill off penalties. So I'm going with Braunscheidel as my pick in this round. And go ahead.
I was going to say a defenseman that wore number 16. He was one of the more prominent guys to wear 16 besides Brett Hull. From that era, he had a nice big old curly head of hair, no helmet, warrior type defenseman. I like the pick.
Yeah, I was thinking I needed to I have a 16 on my team, so it was between him and Terry Hollinger, and I decided to go with Jack Braunscheidel. But I'm going to go ahead and round out my goaltending with my next pick. I'm going to take current goaltender, the only current player on my team, Jordan Binnington. I know maybe it's early to take a goalie like him. We don't know what his career holds, but the only Stanley Cup winning goaltender in Blues history. Sounds like a good pick to me this late in the draft. And I just, again, I still believe, as much as people want to disagree with me, we are yet to see the true career of Jordan Binnington. So I'm going to go ahead and take him as my backup goalie to Glenn Hall.
That is an excellent pick as well.
Man,
Thank you.
Okay. Who do I have left here? I got a right winger.
I'll vamp for you, Curt. The game 67-68. Weidman, the shootout legend. Yes, my legs have legs. That's all I always remember, Dennis Weidman. The game's... Oh, God, I'm sorry. The game 67-68 totally reminds me. Perron is still in the team, last I checked, Jeff. Yes, I forgot I drafted David Perron. So, yes, the second current St. Louis Blue that I have on my team.
Let's see. I got some options here. Ooh, no. I can't pick him. I didn't like him at all.
Eric Brewer?
No. You couldn't pay me to put him on my team. Couldn't pay me.
Patrick Berglund?
No, I couldn't pay me to put him in. Let me look up this one real quick look up here, and I can just safely. Yeah.
I think he's looking at Jason Bakashua. That's my guess.
I will take, and such is so hard to find accurate positions on Hockey Reference. That was a bad. We should have picked a different site. I'm gonna pick Stempniak for my right winger.
That's a good pick.
He had
not a bad one.
130 points in 233 games with the Blues. So that was he's most productive probably with the Blues, I think. Let's see. Going on the list. Yeah, pretty much. Had a decent time in Phoenix. So, yeah. Spent 4 seasons with the Blues back in, let's see, 05-06 through, well, then he was moved in 08-09. So 3 full seasons, then part of a 4th. So Lee Stempniak. I mean, that's not going to, people are going to say, oh, Lee Stempniak. But, 4th liner. So.
Not a bad pick.
I'm not crazy about it, but it'll do.
Bill.
Very well done. So for my next 2 picks, I'm just going to go with the next 2 guys on my board that just slot in very well onto my team. For my left wing pick, I am going with the other Cavallini brother, Gino Cavallini.
Oh boy, we're splitting up the Cavallinis.
I should have taken him just to keep them together.
Yeah, we can talk trade. And for my last defensive pick, I'm going to go with another heart and soul St. Louis Blue, Jimmy Roberts.
Solid. Very solid.
Man, it sucks being in the middle.
I feel like Curt's not ready.
Well, I mean, Well, I can. Let's do. I'm on the wrong page.
So I'm reading. Okay. Yep, he's right. Winning Unlimited. Told you, Curt picks another 12. Too bad Brewer didn't wear that. Yeah, because you picked Stempniak.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Landon Fitzgerald, Dallas Drake? ? I mean, he had a decent career here in St. Louis for sure.
Yeah, this is last season and a half. I guess I remember his last season and a half being just not good. But yeah, no. Before that, he was decent.
Yeah.
Sure. He's a center.
Him
though.
on that top line with Turgeon. They've got Drake listed as a center.
Yeah, I was going to say they probably.
They have everybody listed as a center.
I'm going to veto that again and say he was a right wing or a left wing. Even I give him left wing too.
Yeah,
I do not remember him playing center once.
Let's see. Left winger.
Zach Sanford, number 12.
I'll take
Puck guy 14, Tyson Nash. He's a left winger.
Oh, he is a left winger. Yeah, but I'll take Brandon Morrow, left winger. Brandon Morrow.
Brendan Morrow.
Brendan.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Yeah,
Brandon?
you were right. You were right the first time. That's a.
Yeah.
I say that's an off the board pick.
Yeah, it's off the board.
That is quite off the board. Yeah, I agree.
Fourth liner.
I'm going to go, man, I got a couple people trying to tell me who to take here. Game 67-68 says Brett Hedican, which honestly, his time in St. Louis, he was not bad. I'll admit there's a guy I'm thinking about. Rick Zombo was a guy that I liked. But I got to go with what Winning Unlimited saying here. And this was something, again, that I've been looking at the last couple rounds. I look at my roster and I say, this guy fits perfectly. Bob Gassoff. I'm going to take Gassoff as my my last defenseman. He was a lefty. So I'm a little off on lefty righty, but I'm not too worried about that.
I think I am too. You gotta goon it up a little bit. I mean, you gotta have somebody who can do that.
Yeah, and I feel like I look at my roster and I say, damn, Bob Gassoff, that dude in his day, I mean, he wasn't much of a point scorer, 58 points in 245 games. 245 games, penalty minutes 866. Yeah, give me Bob Gassoff and give me a late in the game, Blues are down 7-1. Give me a pairing of Gassoff and Stevens, and let's see what happens. So I am all for that. So we are now moving into, at least for me, I don't know about you guys,
Reserves.
I'm in my reserves.
Yep.
And my first reserve is a guy maybe a little off the board here as well. Spent 2 years, parts of 2 years in St. Louis, but he had his best, and this is saying a lot, the most traded player in NHL history. You guys know who this is, right?
Yeah, I do. Oh God, who is it? I know it.
Come on, guys, you got this.
Mike Stillman?
Sillinger.
No, not
Mike Sillinger
Yeah.
is correct.
Sillinger.
Yes.
Mike Sillinger, and late in his career, joined the St. Louis Blues. And in that time, had the best points per game of his career. In St. Louis, 64 games played, 0.8 points per game, which is a lot for a guy that the Blues acquired to be on their third line. So just, again, a guy that I thought was great here in St. Louis. They ended up making a trade to Nashville during that terrible season. I think it was Timofey Shishkanov if I remember correctly, who they got for him. I think they had high hopes for that guy. It didn't happen. But Mike Sillinger, to me, was an excellent player for the Blues in the short time he was here.
I agree. That was a good pick. Off the board in a way, but really good off the board. Although at this point, are you off the board? I mean,
yeah, right.
Okay. I'm gonna take. So I'm off. We're in reserves now. I'm gonna go Rob Thomas.
Nice.
It's,
that is.
I guess I should put Rob in front of it.
Has there been another Thomas?
I don't know. Maybe there have been. I don't know. I mean, everyone knows who he is. Has had a really good short, early time in his career here. So I think is a nice person to put as a reserve for this all-time roster.
That is
Bill.
That is a nice pick. I am going to go with Patrick Berglund. I've got to do it.
Oh, I love it.
You always did have a soft spot for Berglund.
I thought he was, like, how many times did I make the point in the show that he, he got people's hopes too high with how dominant a performance he had at the World Juniors, and everybody thought he was going to be this goal scoring dynamo. But what he wound up being was the perfect third line center during his time here. His defensive game was second to none. Put him out there to kill penalties. Good option on the face-off late in the game when you need multiple centers out there. So Bergie, I will always have a soft spot in my heart for him. Instrumental in the Blues winning the cup because Jason Botterill, or no, it wasn't Botterill, who was his predecessor in Buffalo, decided to trade O'Reilly for him and a couple other guys.
Wasn't it Botterill?
Was it Botterill?
I thought it was.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to ask our friends from Die by the Blade to get clarification on that. Bergie, come on down, buddy. And my next pick, and I like the fact that I'm gonna get to end this draft. So
you got one more,
right?
Yeah, after this.
Yeah, I get one pick. So I get the last pick of the draft. So
it'll be the pick of the litter.
That's
you can make a statement
right.
with the last pick.
I certainly can. So my next pick, I am going to go Paul Stastny.
Ah,
nice.
Wow,
I like that.
It's a good pick. Very nice.
Short period here in town, but man, what a guy.
Yeah, that's good.
Too bad he couldn't be here on the team that wound up winning it. Glad he's on my team.
I'm going back and forth here between two guys for my pick here, but after getting this is probably a pick I should have made last round, and Mr. Winning Unlimited called me out on it, so I'm going to take Korea. All Korea.
I will flat out admit I did not like him his entire tenure in St. Louis.
I didn't. I thought I was expecting more. That's why I was disappointed in his play here. But I mean, looking at his numbers, I mean, for this point in the draft, I'm like, as a reserve, he's got 123 points in 168 games. The Blues, 36 goals, 87 assists. So I mean, numbers wise, as a reserve, I mean, I like that a lot for my team right now. So. And if he does make the lineup, it's like fourth liner. So I think he fits one okay there.
So well, first of all, I want to call out a couple comments here. The game 67-68, one of Shishkanov's 3 goals with the Blues was a nasty north-south goal. I think I remember that actually. And it was like, whoa, this kid's good. And that was all he had. The game 67-68, Jason Botterill was the defense or the GM that made that trade. He got fired this offseason. That's what I thought. So yeah, he was the one that did it. AC Generator, again, another guy that I don't know if we've ever had comment on the show. So welcome, AC. I'm very happy to have you. He says, still no Bo. Seriously, Jay Bomeister. And, I have definitely considered him as my 7th defenseman. But, man, I got to say, my next pick, I can't deny the fact that this guy is still available. I may not go with the 7th defenseman, as weird as that sounds. 1989-1990 Selke Trophy winner. You guys know who I'm talking about here?
Rick Mahar.
Rick Mahar.
He checked for a living.
He did. That's true. That is a great reference, sir. But yeah, Rick Mahar, again, not a great offensive dynamo, but just a guy who got the job done. You could put him out there in any situation and trust that he would get the job done. And honestly, as much as I want to say that I want a 7th defenseman, at the end of the day, he's one of the best defensive centers the Blues have ever had. So I'm going to go with Rick Mahar with this pick.
It's a good pick. I like it. And you got one more, right?
I got one more. Yeah, you're right.
Your last pick.
So
Yeah.
I promised my wife, this is the last pick, the 23rd pick, the 23rd round. I promised my wife that I would make this pick. I asked her earlier before the show started, I said, if I were to ask you who your number one pick in all time in Blues history would be, who would it be? And she said, growing up, my favorite player was Chris Pronger. And I was like, that's why I married you. And then the second player she named, I said, you know what? I'll take him with my last pick because I loved him too. My last pick, it is definitely off the board, but I am going to go with left winger Tony Twist. With the Blues, 294 games played, 10 goals, 11 assists, minus 15, 688 penalty minutes. He is number 16 all time for the Blues. And again, another guy that I also grew up watching like her. And really, I know that he was a fighter, and fighter's not part of the game anymore. But I did grow up loving the way he played the game. I loved when he would hit the ice and we would hear Chubby Checker played over the Keel speakers. So, yes, I'm going to go with Tony Twist for my last pick.
All right. Last pick. I feel like I should go defense. I got a couple of reserves from forward. If I have an injury on the defensive side, I'm fucked. So
me too.
I'll round out my picks with Bowmeister.
Nice.
I think. I think we gave him a lot of crap on this show, but looking back on it, and it was revealed that most of that time he was dealing with an injury. So that was that. I mean, that when he was healthy here, he was a very good defenseman. So Jay Bowmeister with my last pick. Bill.
Yeah, if you didn't take him, I was going to.
Okay.
So I'm gonna scan a little bit and vamp a little bit. I mean, I could go with
what you want us to vamp a little bit.
No, I can.
Okay.
I think I can handle that.
Okay.
There's still some quality picks out here.
Let's list some off, Bill, while you're looking. I mean, we got a couple guys like Blake Dunlop, Larry Patey, Mike Zook, Pierre Plante, Chuck Leffley.
Noah Picard.
I mean, there's some Noah Picard.
Noah
I mean,
Picard.
another great.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
yeah, immortalized
Ryan
in
Reeves,
the Bobby
honestly.
Orr.
Yeah.
Yeah, Revo's right there. I mean, hell, go all the way down, get deep in here, and you've got Al Arbor. He's
Al Arbor
was a player and a coach with the Blues.
Longtime Blue Jamal Mayers.
Jamal Mayers, yeah. Doug Harvey, one of the greatest defensemen before Bobby Orr came around, had a 70-game stint with the Blues after the Canadians traded him here. Man, I mean, there's so many different places you go. We haven't mentioned, just the draw of, the hometown favorites, Pat Maroon or, Cam Jansen. Lots of opportunity here to go with with just a sentimental pick. But I don't know. It's difficult to really make a clear call here. I think Blake Dunlop that could be a really solid pick.
I love how you're dragging this out. So let me help you drag this out further. AC Generator in the chat. He says, friend of the show, Greg Millen in goal. Yes, Bill, if you wanted to draft a third goalie, I would not blame you. The game 67-68 adds Howard Chuck Zezel. Michael Hanzus was one that I definitely considered. I was a big fan of his. Loved how you could use him in every situation. Game 67-68 also adds Jochen Hecht, who was a very good Blue in this time here as well.
He lists off Chris Stewart too, and
No,
I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not a Chris Stewart guy.
Yeah,
Me neither.
that first 10 games here, yeah, but after that,
Right. Yeah.
it seemed like his MO. Tony Herkus still out there. Oh, the 3-ring
The Herkus
circus.
Bill does not want this draft to end.
I really don't. But
I'll add
Yeah,
real quick before you make your pick. AC
ahead.
Generator says Jake Allen still left if you want to end on some controversy.
Craig Conroy still left.
I will say I consider Jake Allen. Before I made my Bennington pick, it was between the two of them. And I said, I got to go Bennington because he's won the cup. That's the only reason I picked him over Allen.
Yeah.
Well, being a goalie, I'd be remiss if I didn't end on a goaltending pick. And I'm going to go Jacques Plante.
Yeah. Crazy that he's the last pick.
Yeah, that's interesting. I made a comment that we've had so many good goalies and players in general. That's why this was kind of fun, but it come through this franchise. But I mean, the goaltending, you look at the goalies, and I mean, we could have each had 5 goalies on their team.
Easily.
And had great goalies. So, I mean, it's, and that's why, and I know Jeff, you taking Waiting Solon to take goalies, you got Glenn Hall, Mr. Goalie, and our Stanley Cup winning goalie. So it's like, it doesn't matter.
I mean, let's face it. Rick Wamsley was left undrafted. You guys somebody made the joke about Yaroslav Halak. He had a great career here. Halak left undrafted. Greg Millen.
Yeah,
yep.
Until
Halak was the shutout leader until Elliott eclipsed him, and they were here at the same time. Pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive.
Well, and let's face it too. Guys like in their careers, guys like Manny Legacy, Ed Stanowski, they were fantastic as St. Louis Blues. Vincent Riendo, honestly, was great. And if we're going off regular season numbers, Roman fucking Turek.
Yeah.
That dude was unbelievable in the regular season, and he was left undrafted.
Yeah, but there's a reason he was left undrafted.
That's true.
So can we take these players on the reserves and plug them in wherever we want? Can we do that, or is we got to just leave it where it is?
I'm good. I'm good with that.
You're good with doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with doing that.
Okay.
I mean, other longtime Blues that were left undrafted: Scott Mellenby, Vladimir Sobotka, Cliff Ronning. You mentioned him earlier, Curt.
Yeah.
Cliff Ronning was a hell of a Blue.
Yeah. He was in consideration for my last pick.
Corey Stillman, a huge part of that 2001 team that almost went to the Cup final. Bob Hess, another great St. Louis Blues. Sergio Mamesho, a guy that I kept looking at and saying, should I take him? But it just never happened. Scott Pellerin, great St. Louis Blue.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great players that could have been taken that just,
I mean,
we just never got to them.
Yeah.
You want to
Doug Wickenheiser, one of the greatest heroes in St. Louis history.
Yeah. I mean, he had the Monday Night Miracle goal, but I think he's a very interesting story because he was drafted. He was first overall by Montreal, and who didn't they pick? Who they overlook in that draft?
Was it Yzerman?
No, I thought it was a hometown Montreal guy, and they picked Wickenheiser over him, and he went somewhere else. And it was who was it? Was it?
I'll look it up.
I know, but I mean, I think he filled a role here. I think he found a role here that he played well in. I think he was expected to be a lot more than he was in Montreal, and when he came here, they plugged him in as a role player, and that he fit in nicely.
Denny Savard, Paul Coffey.
Yeah, it was.
It was Savard.
I think it was Denny Savard.
Yeah, because Chicago drafted Savard, right? Yeah. So
Chicago,
yes, that's who it was. Yeah, they passed over Savard and they took Wickenheiser. Oops. So
real quick, Puck Guy 14. my favorite Blues goalie, Roman Turek. And remember, 14 is a San Jose Sharks fan. So, yes, Roman Turek is probably your favorite goalie of all time.
Probably Owen Nolan's, too.
Fuck that. How long has that been now? 2000? So that's 20 years. It's been 20 years. And, I still think back to that moment when Owen Nolan scored from the red line in Game 7, and I still get this, fury and anger just going through my fucking veins. 20 years!
I want to punch a hole in Curt's floor.
Yeah, and you did. I think. Yeah, that was bad. It was close. Bad memories. I don't want to talk about it. You talk about, you know what? We talk about me bringing up the Irishman double overtime goal in the playoffs in Game 7. We bring up the Owen Nolan goal a lot too.
Yeah, we do.
Well, those are emotional scars.
Yep.
They don't go.
They really are.
So guys. I mean, I don't know. I think we got some interesting rosters here. So if you guys want to, I don't know, give your take on who has the better team, just to kind of see. I like Jeff's team. I'm looking at him. I think it's a well balanced team.
I honestly I thank you. I think I drafted a good team as well. But I mean, dude, all of our teams have something to give. Every one of our teams are fucking solid. And that just, again, to what Curt said earlier, it speaks to the types of players the Blues have had over the years. And just how it's unbelievable it took so long for them to win the Cup.
Kevin Miller, another good one.
Oh, he was great.
That was the game 6768 in the chat. Yeah. Brian Noonan, too. It was a Mike Keenan product, bringing him in.
Adam Creighton didn't get referenced once. I'm proud
he did.
Of that.
Well, can't say that anymore.
He wasn't eligible, so.
How is it that Terry Hollinger was referenced before him?
All right, so we'll if you guys want to if you want to do a swap out of reserve for a player that, in your starting lineup, feel free to do so, and then we'll put them up, and people can comment on the rosters if they want to. So let us know what you guys think. Who has the better
Curt,
team?
I'm all about, and keep this in mind for those listening live. If after the episode goes on our podcast, we posting these and then asking people who the best team is, and having a poll on Twitter and I mean maybe Facebook too, but definitely Twitter, and saying who's the best team here.
Now, are we allowed to rearrange our lineups, like move a guy from a second line to a third line? Okay.
Yeah. Leave this document open for us, and I feel like by the time the podcast episode airs, I'm sure we'll. I'm sure the three of us will make the changes we feel necessary.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. So yeah, we got the players in our pool, and we can kind of rearrange them how we see fit, as long as I guess they stay true to the Hockey Reference site. Which, if we do this again, for anything else, we'll have to pick a site that actually sorts by left wing, right wing, center to make it a little bit.
I mean, I guess
we
could do NHL. NHL.com probably does that too, right?
Do they? I didn't check, but
I don't know.
That would just made it more efficient, easier to reference. So.
Well, I will say, I think the idea of doing an all-time worst team would be a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
Eric Brewer is your number one pick. I will go ahead and call that now.
Oh God. As much as I hate him, he's not the worst.
Jeff Wojciechowski, honestly, that gets my money right there.
So you got to have a minimum games played too, like
anybody
a lot
involved in that. Doug Lynch.
Yeah.
Did Doug Lynch even play for the Blues?
Worst team with a minimum of 150 games played. Huh?
I'll say Mike Keane. You remember when he joined the Blues? I thought Mike Keane was awful.
He was terrible. Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn wasn't.
Yeah, we just have a biggest disappointment team.
That might be just a starting lineup, like 3 forwards, 2D, and a goalie for each of us. Biggest
As
disappointment.
much as we all loved him, I mean, after the trade, I'd say even Garth Butcher belongs in there.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Well, was Garth Butcher was. I think he was what we thought he was. Right? He just wasn't very good. He was. I always heard somebody made a comment when Butcher was here. I remember on the radio that I always stuck with me that Butcher was the best in the league at hitting somebody after they scored.
That sounds like a Randy character comment.
It might have been. I was like, that suits him pretty well. All right. I think we should wrap this show up.
Yeah,
We're over 3
3
hours
hours.
again, I think.
Yeah, it is. We were late starting because of the stupid thing in the beginning, but yeah. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below the waist grooming products. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with code LGB. Make your balls a priority this fall. That will wrap up episode 12 of season 9 of the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks for listening, and thanks to those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the live show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. For Jeff Ponder and Bill Day, I'm Curt Price. Until next time, everyone, let's go Blues!
Let's go Blues.
Let's go, Team Drax Technology Slashers.
I forgot about that.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available.
A look at sports.
I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
I want you to have a heart attack and die so that we never have to do this shit again.
Well, there's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to #1. Now there's no more blues for our St. Louis Blues.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport.